spaces, can't erase this. You're the feeling that I choose. I'm tired of running, 'cause you lost the feeling. You're disconnected in your touch. Are you believing in what I'm seeing? Or did the high life get too much? It's all on you now to figure out how. You lost the fire in your eyes, 'cause I can't change it. What you're wasting now that your gaze is polarized. Now that your gaze is polarized. Now that your gaze is polarized. When the haze clears all of your fears, now we have nothing left to lose. Fill the spaces, we can erase this, and not the feeling that you choose. You're tired of running, 'cause I lost the feeling. We're disconnected in our touch. Are you believing in what I'm seeing? Or did the high life get too much? It's all on you now to figure out how. You lost the fire in your eyes, 'cause I can't change it. What you're wasting now that your gaze is polarized. You lost the fire in your eyes. It's all on you.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi. How's everyone doing? I know like half of you have already been here or have been here since I started earlier, but hi, guys. Hi, everyone. Hello. 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 How's everyone doing? Everyone good? Everyone good out there? Okay. Let's see who we have here. We have a lot to talk about, folks. We have a lot to talk about. I know a lot of you, we're already here, but hey, some of you are now new to the stream in terms of just joining elsewhere. Let's see who we all have here today. Happy, what is it? I don't even know. Happy, what is it? Monday. Happy Monday. Hey, let's see who we got here. Who do we got? Who do we got? We got Brucey. Hello, Brucey. Meowzord. Hello, Meowzord. Love Brucey. Love Meowzord. Love Retro Asher. Hello, Retro Asher. By the way, Retro Asher now has invented a new god for us to worship named Gazoo the Sky Whale. So that's our new god. I mean, I know we already have the cheeseburger cult and some other cults, but we now have Gazoo the Sky Whale to worship as well. Mayflower Kid. Hello, Mayflower Kid. Mayflower Kid always complaining about something. So glad to have you here, Mayflower Kid. Mayflower Kid sent me some lovely Vermont maple syrup, which I had this morning a little bit of on some French toast. It was absolutely amazing. Okay. LaCroix is here. Hello. Hello, LaCroix. So glad that you're here. So glad that you're here. Hello, Drusilla. Always glad Drusilla's here. Our friend from Norway here. Okay. Matt Sai. Hello, Matt Sai guy. Matt Sai guy is here. Hello, Matt Sai guy. Well, Matt Sai guy, that's perfect because I am gay, so makes sense. Marzipan Power. Hello, Marzipan Power. You have a snowy day, Marzipan Power, or do you have a snow day, or is it just a snowy day? Ooh, okay. Hello, Marzipan Power. So glad you're here as well. Oh wait, you know what I need to do? I need to actually make sure that we are live also on the dual stream. Oh no. How do I do this? I'm not on the dual stream. Give me a second. Anyway, so we have a lot to talk about today, guys. A lot to talk about. All right. So we will do that. There we go. Okay, sorry, I had to fix something real fast. All right. So we have is the game on? Hello, is the game on? Always glad to see you here. Hello. You want snow in Seattle? Is the game on? Okay. Good luck. I'm sick of snow, but hey, it's more power to you. Let's see here. Louise is here. Hello, Louise. Um, oh, I know Weird Amorphous Blob, right? It's crazy how the Democrats' approach to war against Iran is that it's a win-win. Oh, I know Weird Amorphous Blob. It's almost like when it comes to foreign policy, there's only one party. Well, there's more than one party when it comes to economics too. All right. Ignoring your messages again. What messages? I'm sorry. Did I miss something, Louise? Okay. Drizel K. Body Swap is here. Hello, Body Swap. Yes, the Sky Whale Kazoo. The Sky Whale Kazoo. Yes, Mandelson was suspended on suspicion of misconduct. So that's great news. Very happy about that. All right. Yay, Weird Amorphous Blob isn't exciting. Okay, guys, we got a lot to talk about. So obviously, guys, first of all, tomorrow is a big day. It is a big day. Uh, Large, I mean, it's a big day because tomorrow is the State of the Union address by President Trump. I mean, it's gonna be boring probably, but because it's my job now, kind of. I'm gonna try to dress up in full jester gear while we watch it and then watch it. Because we definitely need I believe the State of the Union is tomorrow, Alyssa. Yeah. So I'm going to yeah, so I'm probably going to try and wear full jester gear with makeup and everything because we need a jester to cover it. So we're going to do that. So be there for that. I don't know what time it's going to be at. I haven't looked, to be honest with you, but I'll take a look. For those who don't know, the State of the Union address is mandated by law in the United States every year or 2 years or something? Every year, the president has to go before Congress and talk about the state of the country. All right. Yeah, I'm going to be jester maxing tomorrow. All right. Thank you, Fetty Spaghetti. I have lots of caffeine in my system and a lot of painkillers. So we'll have an evening show. That correct, Meowsard. I'm very excited about that, Meowsard. I'm very excited about that to arrive. All right. So we are going to we'll do that tomorrow. Now we have some shit to talk about, guys. All right. I was sick for a couple days. Well, about a day and a half. I'm okay now. So we got some to talk about. Guess we're getting the accomplishment binder again? Probably, Alyssa. Jesus. Should I brew some coffee? Yeah, you should brew some coffee, Marzipan. Absolutely do it. Okay, get on that. We'll do 2 shows tomorrow, LaCroix. So we'll do the morning, the normal show, and then we'll do the State of the Union address. So we'll do 2 shows tomorrow. So I'll be on quite a bit tomorrow, guys. So just be aware of that. You'll be able to see me for a long time if you want to be around, okay? The show, whatever it is, Matt Saga, the show, the program, the live stream. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So let's see here. We have some shit to talk about. A lot of shit going on. A lot of horrible things going on. I believe, what did I title this stream again? Hell if I remember. Hell if I remember what I titled this shit. It is Countdown to War with Iran. That's right. So yay, that's great. That's great. So apparently, yeah, Retro Asher. I was avoiding you, Retro Asher. That's the only person I was avoiding. Let's make that clear, Retro Asher. Okay. Thank you very much, Brucey. Okay, so we're just going right towards war with Iran, folks. Right towards it. Straight on. Full speed ahead, as they say. Very excited about that. Yeah, you're totally right, Mouser. And I will say this, okay? I'd say that it's about a 90% chance we go to war with Iran, okay? Yeah, so, well, technically, Brucey, my name isn't Sam, it's Samuel, but still kind of a basic name, I agree. My middle name is much more interesting, but I'm not going to tell you all that, okay? My middle name is very cool. I really like my middle name, and I kind of wish it was my first name. All right, moving on. So, okay, so this is going to be great. I suspect we have about a 90% chance of going to war with Iran. Now, here's the problem, all right? First of all, we have something right now. And you know what? It's very possible. It is very possible. Is the game on? Okay, I'm not surprised. Is the game on? Says false flag from Israel on American forces. Watch. I would not be surprised because they want to trigger something. Okay. Okay. No, no, Louise. How dare you? It's not Adolf. Okay. Uh. Okay. So this is. How about this, guys? My middle name begins with a W. And it's unusual. But, okay, moving on. I'll leave that as a little tempt over there. Okay, so right now, the United States has something like 40 to 50% of its overseas Air Force capacity stationed in the Middle East. That means that is more air power than we put in the Middle East before the Iraq War, okay? We have enough air power over there to do a whole new invasion, just like we did with the Iraq War. Now, on a side note here, there are reports coming out that tomorrow there's going to be talks tomorrow between Iran and the Trump administration. So, by the way, none of you have gotten it right yet. So there still a possibility that something that the Iran gives in to Trump administration's demands? Yeah, it's possible. But also, there's an issue here with commitment because we have all these forces over here, all this power. That's very expensive. That makes it a lot more likely that we'll end up attacking them anyway, right? It's something called the sunk cost fallacy. If you've already put lots of time, energy, and resources into something, you're less likely to cancel it, even if you like come to a deal. Okay, so all right, so that's great. Probably going to be just bombing the hell out of Iran soon. Okay, you know what? I shouldn't even have mentioned the middle name. You all need to focus out there. You all need to focus, okay? Okay? I see you all trying to guess what it is. I see you all trying to guess. You know what? Body Swap gets a boop. Boop, because Body Swap isn't playing this game, okay? Body Swap isn't playing this game. Okay, Meowzord gets a boop. Boop, because Meowzord isn't paying this game. Plaster Egg, you get a boop, Plaster Egg. Boop. Great job, Plaster Egg. The rest of you need to contain yourself. All right? All right. Jesus, I got it's like being like bunch of it's like a being in a classroom with a bunch of grade schoolers. All right, Jesus, thank you. Lock in, chat. Okay, Alyssa, you get a boop. Boop. So does Marzipan Power. Boop. All right, good job. All right. Jesus Christ, Mayflower Kid. Okay, so so that's good. We're basically going to be going to war with Iran, I suspect. Furthermore, hey, Macon gets a boop. Boop. Welcome, Macon. By the way. Boop boop. All right. Uh, now then. So we're lined up to do that, which is great. Love that for us. Love that. By the way, again, Iran, zero threat to the United States, zero threat. They have no missiles that could possibly reach anywhere near our shores. And someone I think just did something. I don't know. Thank you for joining if you just joined. So that's fun. Zero threat from Iran. All right. So that's good. And by the way, a lot of our bases and shit in the Middle East are exposed to this, which is fun. By the way, just to show you, remember how we talked about manufacturing consent? How like the mainstream media will oftentimes just toe the government line and do propaganda, especially when it comes to international affairs. The mainstream media is notorious for doing State Department propaganda. It does do it for domestic policies, but not as much as it does for foreign affairs. Oh my God, they're falling in line. I'm to give you an example of this. I saw absolutely Weirdamorphous Blob. I saw an article in the New York Times today, in the New York Times, and in the first paragraph, it said that if the United States goes to war with Iran, it might cause Iran might order Al Qaeda to attack the United States. Now then, someone tell me in chat why that makes no sense. Please tell me why it is stupid. It is literally stupid. You don't have to know much about. You have to know much about the region to know that Al Qaeda does not work. Thank you, Weird Amorphous Blob. Does not work for Iran Okay, they hate each other. Iran and Al Qaeda, different branches of Islam, do not get along. Okay, like they hate each other. Um, Not friendly at all. And the new, you know what? Since we're here, I'll show it to you guys. I couldn't open it up on it was like one of those free articles on the New York Times, so I have to go into my I found it on Twitch though, so I can show you the quote. Just so you can see here. We got a lot of stuff here to look at. So you don't know I'm not going crazy here, but like Jesus Christ, and this was in the New York Times, obviously fear mongering, claiming that we're going to be attacked by Al Qaeda because apparently it's like war on terror level shit. All right, okay, I have to find it again. That's okay. So, but anyway, it was reported today. Okay, I'm sorry. Did I say Twitch, Twitter? All right. So anyway, um, so that's fun. The mainstream media doing that work for the government, trying to do fear mongering and shit like that, trying to convince us that yeah. All right. All right. Meanwhile, guys, in regards to that, there's also some other hilarious things happening. I'll show you some of those things now.
As a
Here
hit.
here we have a just to show you Uh, um, yeah, I know Weird Amorphous Blob. It's like, oops, wrong radical Islam, right? Okay, just to show you how incompetent the American empire is. I know America now, guys. I know I don't want you to think I'm doing American exceptionalism. It is true that America has a very powerful military. Just look at how much we spend on it. It's a very large military. Does that mean it's competent? No. All right, but it's powerful, right? It's big. That being said, it is also funny that we pretend that we're like this global power when there are things like this happening on board the aircraft, one of the aircraft carriers that we sent to the Middle East to be prepared for war with Iran. Let's listen to this.
The planned US attack on Iran has a hitch. Most of the bomb targeting crew are busy queuing for toilets on the lead vessel, the USS Gerald R. Ford. This is not a joke. A set of emails was obtained by NPR, a US public broadcasting group, revealing that toilet wars have broken out on board the most expensive ship the US Navy ever built. And the Wall Street Journal followed up to confirm the tale today. TLDR summary: there are too few functioning toilets for 4,600 sailors, and the problem is worsening daily. Problem 1, design planners screwed up by including too few toilets for 4,000 plus sailors, leading to 45-minute queues on a daily basis. Problem 2, engineers screwed up by installing a fragile vacuum system in which a single valve breakdown on one toilet can stop all the toilets in an entire department functioning, making the queues even longer. Problem 3, some of the temporary repair operations, such as using an acid flush to clear out calcium buildups, can only be done while the ship is docked. No prospect of that. But with so many toilets out of order, too much pressure is put on the ones still working, so the problem will just spread. And the issues have already been mounting for more than a year. A March 18th, 2025 email from the engineering department sent out to all chiefs on the ship said there were 205 toilet breakdowns in 4 days, the NPR reported. Now, the ship is at the heart of U.S. overseas attack operations, working for months in waters
I'm just
near
letting you guys
Venezuela
listen to it because,
support
dear
the
God.
abduction of the country's president and the seizing of ships carrying oil to customers around the world. And the ship is now heading the planned regime change operation in Iran. Israel wants a pro-Netanyahu leader installed, as the US has done in many other countries. But how can they attack Iran while staff are queuing for the loo? One result of all this is a war of words between sailors and onboard sewage staff called hull technicians, or HTs. One sewage engineering chief complained that sailors put all sorts of problematic material down the toilets. Even T-shirts were found clogging the pipes. Our sewage system is being mistreated and destroyed by sailors on a daily basis. My HTs are currently working 19 hours a day right now, trying to keep up with the demand. The US taxpayer sent $13 billion US on this ship.
Not
on
enough,
the plus
though.
side, it would be delightful if the carrier's desperate lack of functioning toilets caused the attack on Iran to be cancelled or postponed.
So, this is the state of the American empire, folks. We have, this idea that we have Pete Hegseth out there trying to be all ultra masculine and shit, trying to claim, we're the best, most powerful empire, blah, 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 blah. At the same time, there are not enough toilets aboard the vessel. And literally, people are having, sailors are having to wait in line for, there's the link for those who want it, to get to the few toilets that are working. And, okay. Uh, so again, this makes me think also, I mean, that there's kind of a paper tiger thing going on here, right? We can't even get the goddamn toilets to work aboard the supposedly most advanced carriers in the world. And okay, so that's good. Love that for us. Hilarious. so so there's a problem. So as we're waiting to do this, there's also more issues going on. The Wall Street Journal had an article. There are a lot of internal complaints going on aboard these two aircraft carriers that have been sent over to the Middle East to prepare for the attack on Iran. Okay, so you can see here that this is from the Wall Street Journal, and it says here that there is a lot. U.S. sailors are very low morale. Okay, they the blocked toilets and the fact that they have to wait in line forever for toilets. There's also a lot of soldier stuff that have been missing funerals of family members. They're becoming exhausted. They haven't been out they haven't been out there for terribly long, by the way. Now, they were I think the Gerald Ford was actually sitting outside of Venezuela for a long time, and now they're being sent over to the Middle East, and these sailors are exhausted, their toilets are clogged, and, they have very low morale, okay? The greatest empire on earth, folks. God bless America. God bless America. Surely, if we can't get enough surely that if we can't get enough working toilets aboard an aircraft carrier, we can do a competent regime change in Iran, right? that I'm sure. I know, Alyssa, right? Like I competent, I'm sure very competent military. Sure, it can handle a massive regime change war, just like it has the last multiple regime change wars that we've done. All been very successful, right, folks? Very successful. Okay. Ugh. Also, so very low already, not a shot has been fired, and morale is in the dumps. Okay. The dumps are overflowing, apparently. Right, Lacroix? Right. So, okay. Just a fun fact there. Napoleon had a phrase. His phrase was an army runs on its stomach, okay? And that doesn't just mean food, that means logistics, supplies, hygiene, things like that. If you can't get your logistics to work, your hygiene, your basic shit like that, you're going to have problems, okay? Hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious. The comp. By the way, do you hear how much that our tax dollars put into that goddamn aircraft carrier that doesn't have enough functioning toilets? Billions upon billions. Anyway, just a side note there. I would love to see the collapse of this empire sooner rather than later, and at least it looks like we're accelerating it a bit with the incompetence. Okay. Um. That's hilarious. Weird Amorphous Blob. That's insane. Okay. One of the Weird Amorphous Blob says, one of the central progressive Floridian politicians is Anna Eskamani, and she's an Iranian diaspora. Her family fled the Shah, never stepped foot in the country after 1979, and pumping the regime change narrative so hard, I'm probably going to have a stroke the next time I have to talk to a liberal activist here. Oh my God. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people pumping the regime change crap. And this, guys, if you've been alive long enough, like I know a lot of the folks in here that are my age or older, probably even a little younger than me too, remember the Iraq War and how all this media came out at the time backing the regime. It didn't matter if it was liberal media, conservative media, all the media basically came out except for like one or two sources to support the regime during this. And we're seeing the exact same thing happening here. They're not openly like the media not the liberal media might not openly be calling for it, but they're implying heavily that it wouldn't be bad if it happened. So, okay, that's one of the worst parts of American media is that when it comes to international affairs, the media almost always falls in line behind the regime. All right. Okay. So that's good. Uh that's good. So there we go. we're probably going to be going to war with Iran. That's what we need right now, don't we? We need war with Iran. We need that rather than, first of all, it's illegal. It's against international law. No one cares. It's immoral. We will lose. If we put troops on the ground, we'll lose. Okay, even if we bomb the country, I don't know what that'll accomplish. And yeah, okay, it's just okay. So stupid. Uh, I'm currently on Iran war watch. If we do end up going to war with Iran, I will immediately go live so we can see what happens, etc. So if that does happen, again, they're planning to meet tomorrow. Apparently, it'll probably happen either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow or the weekend, whatever. Just be prepared for that, okay? Yeah, he does. He's a madman, Doug. He's an absolute madman. He has an itchy nuke finger for sure. For sure. Okay. So that's good. Um Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, god damn it. I can't see it now. Shit. Uh Shit. Ah, damn it. I want to be able to show you where it actually says Al Qaeda, but I can't open it up because of this. Okay. Well, it does say Al Qaeda. Okay. They say that Iran could order proxies to attack US targets in Europe and the Middle East as intercepted communications um among extremists linked to Tehran worry US and Western officials. Okay. Isn't that great? All right. So there we go. There's their big story. There's one of the big stories. We're probably going to be going to war with Iran soon. Love that. Let's talk about some other shit that's really stupid. Oh, thank you, Plaster Egg. You know what? Maybe we'll do that. I'm not going to do it right now because I think you guys get the idea, but I am going to save that message you sent me. Thank you, Plaster Egg. Thank you. I'm going to save that right now. Copy it, paste it. Okay. Thank you, Plaster Egg. All right. So, okay. So there's the first story. Any comments, questions, questions? Let's do one more bit about international news because there's another story that no one is talking about. Okay. Oh, I forgot. One last thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to Iran. Okay. Also, when it comes to the Iraq war, do we remember what the reason was that the United States said that we would go to war in Iraq? What was it? Why did we say we wanted to go to war in Iraq? I mean, there were a few reasons why the government said we were going to go to war in Iraq. What were they? Do we remember what were the reasons why the United States said we had to go to war against Saddam Hussein? Nukes, yeah, that they were developing weapons of mass destruction, right, Louise? Yep, yeah, WMD. There you go. Where was love? So, weapons of mass destruction, exactly. Now, you guys get it. Here's the fun part, right? For also, by the way, don't forget that one of the side reasons was that Saddam Hussein had links to Al Qaeda and the attacks on 9/11. The main thing was weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so obviously the New York Times already doing the whole links to Al Qaeda shit. Then, uh, okay, but here's what Steve Witkoff, the U.S. envoy, said. Now, I want to point out that this newspaper is the Jerusalem Post. This is an Israeli newspaper. Now, Jerusalem Post is a liberal Israeli outlet. They typically aren't. They are not hardline. They're Zionist, but they're not like raging Zionist. The reason I chose them for this article is to show you that even a liberal Israeli newspaper is saying that this is nonsense. So this is what Steve Witkoff, um, the U.S. envoy, I believe, to Iran said. Okay, he said that Iran is within days of enriching uranium for bomb making material. Okay, which, okay, I love this because didn't Trump say that we took out all their bomb making? Yeah, right, Stan Durko. Wasn't he like, oh, we took out all their nukes, all their nuclear facilities. It was a very powerful attack. They can't make nukes anymore. It was a very powerful attack. And now he's saying they're within days of making nukes. And notice the subscript on this article. Notice, yeah, LaCroix, you got it. By the way, isn't it funny that literally Israel has been saying this to the United States, and the United States has been saying this since like the 80s, that Iran is like a day or two or like a week or two or a month away or so from getting a nuke. They've been saying it for decades, okay? Of course, as soon as we want to bomb Iran, we say that again. But just to show you how even the Israeli press is like, what the hell are you talking about? This is what the Israeli press says. So they say Iran could be the title here. Iran could be close to enriching uranium for bomb-making material, U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff claims. Then the subtext is the U.S. envoy left out that Iran currently has no access to its material, no machines to enrich it, and no weapons program to use it for any operational purpose. So even the Israeli press is like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't feel like that makes much sense. Okay. Oh, oh, Jesus. We live in the worst timeline. Okay. Great. Yep. Weird Amorphous Blob. Yep. By the way, guys, Weird Amorphous Blob says, crazy Mal's gonna get a nuke and we're all gonna die. It's always the same thing. Absolutely. Guys, I gotta tell you, I don't blame Iran for wanting a nuke. Think about it. It is rational. It is actually, and this sounds horrible, it's also rational for North Korea to want a nuke. I do not like the North Korean regime. I'm not going to go into this, but it's rational for them to want a nuke, right? Think about it. Israel and the United States is always bombing Iran. Iran always talking about overthrowing their regime. What is a better way of stopping that than being a nuclear armed power? You're much less likely to be invaded or bombed if you have nukes. Okay. So, or North Korea, for example, is always threatening to be bombed and attacked by America, and actually was at war with America for a while during the Korean War. I don't blame them for wanting a nuke too. This is the issue. If you like constantly threaten a country that has the capacity to make nukes, you constantly say you're going to invade them, you constantly threaten their sovereignty, they might want to get nukes. They might want to get nukes. Okay? Especially if you're a nuclear power. So that's just something to think about. Okay. Anyway, regardless, they're not close to getting nukes, so don't believe this nonsense, okay? All right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I Weird Amorphous Blob, I think you know what I want to say about the Weird Amorphous Blob. I think Khamenei is a P word, but I'm not going to say that. Anyway, as in, I think he's making a mistake there. Weird Amorphous Blob. Anyway, okay, still, Lacroix, especially after we pulled out of the nuclear agreement. Yeah, they weren't doing that, guys. They weren't making the nukes, and then Trump unilaterally pulled us out of that agreement. Okay, Jesus Christ. Um. Okay. No reason to take us at our word. Exactly. Like, and guys, by the way, this hello, Dolly Boy, welcome. This does not mean I am like rah 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 rah. Okay, I know. Not a a lot of problems with that country. A lot of them are imposed. But that doesn't mean that we need to invade them or anything like that. Yeah, they just killed a lot of their own civilians during the riots and things like that. I mean during the protest and shit. And apparently there's actually more going on today. Doesn't justify invading them or anything like that. And by the way, of course that's not the reason we're going to do it. Okay? Anyway, so just a side note there. All right. Okay. It's okay, Dolly Boy. It's okay. We're surviving. Doug says North Korea said Thursday Kim Jong leader held a ceremony to unveil the deployment of 50 new launch vehicles for the nuclear capable short range missiles. Oh, interesting, Doug. I didn't know that. Okay. All right. So moving on here. All right. So there we go. There's stuff about Iran. There's the stuff about Iran. Meanwhile, next bit. Oh, Louise. Louise asks, does Iran have oil by chance? Now, Louise, we all know Louise is smart, and we all know Louise knows the answer is yes. But you guys get the joke, right? Because, yeah, Iran has a lot of oil. And Britain and the United States used to own that shit, okay? Which is why we're mad at Iran, because the people of Iran decided that they thought that they should own their own oil, and we don't like that too much, okay? We don't like that too much, okay? All right. So there we go. Fun. Next story. Now, this story isn't being talked about much, folks. All right? This story ain't being talked about too much. All right? Do we all know, I know. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Yeah, and I don't even like talking about it. Weird Amorphous Blob. I don't want to give voice to it, but I feel like I should like at least mention it. But it's something I debate with myself. Anyway, Okay. So do we hear how do we all know how I'm sorry, Trump has been preventing oil from getting to Cuba? Have we heard about that? We all know about that? How Trump has been preventing oil from being delivered to Cuba. We all know about that? All right. So this is a story that's not being talked about much. We are causing a humanitarian crisis in Cuba and no one cares. Okay. So the oil, this is from the AP. The Cuban healthcare system is collapsing because of our embargo on their oil. We are going to cause innocent people to die. We are going to cause innocent people to suffer greatly. Cuban civilians, in an effort to overthrow their regime by embargoing the Cuban economy. That's what we're doing right now. It's an embargo. We have basically preventing any oil from getting to Cuba, or very little oil from getting to Cuba, almost no oil. Um, so this is great. And there are now reports coming out of Cuba. Cuba's debilitated healthcare system has been pushed to the brink of collapse by the U.S. blockading the country's oil supply. Of course, okay, of course we don't care, Blaster Egg. We don't care. They're filthy communists, according to our government. Okay, so Cuba's debilitated healthcare system has been pushed to the brink of collapse by a U.S. blockading the country's oil supply. A Cuban official said. Okay, the country's medical system was already. Um, by the way, this is sort of some propaganda right here. It says the country's medical system was already perpetually crisis stricken, along with the island's economy, with lack of supplies, staff, and medicine being the norm. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that. Most of them are because of the United States. Anyway, so to make it seem like that's the norm, whatever. Exactly, Matt Guy. That's just bullshit. Okay. So, but the AP is not perfect, but you can ignore that part. But the turmoil has reached a new extreme in recent weeks. Ambulances are struggling to find fuel to respond to emergencies. Exactly. That's okay. Persistent outages have uh, plagued deteriorated hospitals. Flights bringing vital supplies have been suspended as Cuba's government says it's now unable to refuel airplane at airports. Experts and some leaders of other countries have warned the island could be on the verge of a humanitarian catastrophe. In an interview with the Associated Press, Cuba's okay, yeah, exactly where it was. Guys, by the way, Cuba has a really good healthcare system. They actually export their doctors to other countries to help. There are Americans who get on little rafts to go to Cuba to get healthcare because it's free and it's good healthcare. So it's bullshit. Yeah, they may have had some shortages and stuff. Sometimes that can happen. But to say that it was like a horrible healthcare system that was always struggling, no. And if it was, it certainly isn't struggling much more than our healthcare system is, okay, to meet any needs. All right. So, okay, give me a second here. All right. And it's also, by the way, hard to get medicine if countries don't let you buy medicine because you're considered a communist country. All right. So basically, we are destroying the economy of Cuba that, with the hope that it will overthrow the regime there will be overthrown. Okay, we're doing regime change in Cuba. It's just not being talked about because we're doing it by depriving them of oil. Yeah, of course, Lacroix, because of the Monroe Doctrine. Lacroix says, and since Cuba is in our sphere of influence, we get to do whatever we want. Yep, love that. Love that. Okay. This is all part of the Monroe Doctrine. The Trump administration is all about regaining imperial control over all of the countries in North and South America. Um, this is exactly what this is. We already did it to Venezuela, and now we're just trying it a different way in Cuba. Okay. And I really hope that I know Mexico is trying to help Cuba. I hope other countries try to run the blockade and shit and bring oil to Cuba. That would be a great show of force if the world could get together to supply Cuba, despite the American blockade. That would be a real slap in the face to American power, and I hope it happens. Okay, outer signal. Cuba generally has a great healthcare system. Sent medical exactly outer signal. Hello, outer. Okay, so all right, so that's happening too, guys. Just to be clear, we're about to just to remind everyone, we're about to go to war with Iran. Okay, we are currently blockading Cuba and causing a health crisis there. which will affect innocent Cuban civilians. All right. We, by the way, Trump's Board of Peace is talking about, of course, Fox is talking about real estate plans in Gaza to turn it into a giant real estate project. So the evil doesn't end. The evil is not ending. And meanwhile, Trump, in a weird turn of events, has decided to send a hospital ship to Greenland. And it's very unclear why. They don't have a health crisis there. I think it's just him trying to show off, or I don't know why he's doing it. Does anyone have an idea about why he's sending this hospital ship to Greenland? I don't get it. I literally don't get it. I don't know if he thinks it's good for PR. It might be a PR thing. He thinks the people of Greenland are stupid, but I don't know why he's doing it. Like, do we know? I'm literally asking you because I've looked into it, and it could be a preposition. Yeah, Louise, Greenland said no, but this is what I think is weird. Like, why would you even ask that? Is it just an insult? Okay, I don't know. All right. Yeah, it might be a Trojan horse. Propaganda purposes. Okay, he's literally insane. That's possible, Elliot. Interesting, Plaster. I don't know if it's an olive branch or a PR stunt. Yeah, it's just anyway. So it could be that it's just one of those weird Trump things. I don't know what he's thinking he's doing. And by the way, the Greenland had a lovely response to this. They basically responded by saying, "You don't understand. In Greenland, we don't abuse our civilians. We have free universal health care, unlike America." I loved his response. It was like brilliant. I'm gonna actually see. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Greenland response to Trump hospital vote. Okay. Greenlandic Prime Minister. I'm sorry. God, look at this shit. Notice, guys, real fast here, before I get into that, do you see whose face was on that video? Well, I'll go back here. Okay. So here we go. This is what the head of the Prime Minister of Greenland said. "It's going to be a no thank you from here. President Trump's idea to send an American hospital ship here to Greenland is noted, but we have a public health system where treatment is free for citizens. It's a deliberate choice and a basic part of our society. It's not like that in the United States where it costs money to go to the doctor." Yeah. Okay, I love that. Yeah. Honestly, it could be a silly manipulate. Oh, that's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point, Adder. So it could be the SEO. That's a really good point. So did we notice, guys, who was on this screen up here? This is The Hill, which is another mainstream liberal news outlet. Just to show you guys, look at this. At the top of this, the first person they show in this video about Trump in Greenland is Gavin Newsom. And our American media does this every time. The mainstream news always promote the person they want, and it's always the most corporate of corporate Dems. So right now, everywhere, we keep seeing it. They're pushing Gavin Newsom, Gavin Newsom, Gavin Newsom, okay? So I'm glad we can. I didn't know that was on there, but this proves our point, right? That I've been trying to make here about American media, manufacturing consent. So you can even see it here. Okay. Yeah, please, folks, please hit the like button if you haven't already. All right. Yeah, the heir apparent. That you're not wrong, Outer Signal. It's kind of like appointing an heir. You know what? Real fast, let's see what they have to say. Yeah, Brucey, yes, he is a, well, let's put it this way, Brewster. Yes, he's a centrist, but in America, that means he's a right-winger. Okay, he's a right-wing Democrat, which means he's right-wing. This is, yeah, he's a right-winger. Even though he's a Democrat. So he doesn't he look like a Pixar villain? I totally agree, Sir Bartholomew. All right. So let's listen real fast. I wasn't going to watch this, but let's just see what they say. I want to see what their propaganda is. Let's see how they frame this around Gavin Newsom.
Donald Trump is increasingly unhinged. Even his hand-picked Supreme Court said what he was doing was lawless. Shocking to me that 3 members of the Supreme Court.
So they're obviously posturing him, trying to present him as like the big anti-Trump force.
Actually agree with Donald Trump.
Okay. Anyway, fascinating. Look, the rest of the video didn't even have noise in it. It was just that was the only part where they had active voice. Anyway, so okay. So that's good. We can see even in a non-related article how the mainstream media is already pushing Gavin Newsom. Please, Sir Bartholomew, I would vote for you, right? I would vote for you. Okay. That brings us now to the next story, guys. I'm sorry, Brucey. I'm sorry, Brucey. You said, what do you mean a Democrat is right wing? You still didn't say anything. Brucey. Let's talk, Brucey. Real fast, guys. Let's talk for a second, right? Let's do this. So here we have, let me show you real fast. For those who don't know, this is going to be horrible. Here we have the standard political spectrum. Now, obviously, we can debate whether or not it's like 4 ways, whether it exists. Okay. So internationally, right? Internationally, Bernie. So if I were to put like the Democrats or Gavin Newsom on the international political spectrum, he'd probably be like right about here, maybe even a little farther right. And then pretty close to next to him would be the, he's probably even farther right than that, whatever, would be the Republicans. Okay. So Newsom, I'll say Democrat, Republican. All right. Then maybe the farthest right. Yeah, Brucey, it's confusing. Perhaps the farthest left we have that's mainstream is right here. Is right here. And that would be Bernie Sanders. He's about centrist on the international scale. Sanders. So that's kind of like the left flank of the Democratic Party would be Bernie Sanders, who's a centrist. Okay. So, yeah, our Democrats, yes. So, Brucey, Brucey, that's actually a fair correction here. Let me put it this way. Brucey says Bernie is a socialist. Ideologically, Bernie is right about here. Okay, ideologically. So, he is left of center ideologically, but in terms of his proposals, he's a centrist. Does that make sense? Okay. I agree that Bernie Sanders ideologically is a socialist, but he's never advocated for full-on socialism. He advocates for sort of a centrist thing. Okay. Now in America, Bernie is left wing because he is to the left of the Democrats. But when we talk about America, we are to the right, both of our parties are to the right of the political spectrum. Okay. So in America, when you hear someone say left wing, they typically mean a little bit right of center or centrist. Okay. You should you should question everything. All right. We guys got that? All right. Oh, Brucey, he's like a pro-capitalist, highly corrupt, very corrupt guy. There's a lot of things wrong with Gavin Newsom. I wish SoCal was here. Folks, you can list stuff in chat if you want to. He's very corrupt. I don't really want to get into it right now, but he is a right-winger, okay, in every imaginable way. There you go. Hates trans people and he refuses to tax billionaires. Okay, yeah. So where would you put MAGA and Mamdani? Oh, so that's a good question, Outer Signal. If I were to put Mamdani is definitely probably Mamdani's probably right around here, or at least he's probably around where Sanders is ideologically, maybe a little bit left of that. And I think in practice, I don't know. We have to see what he does, but there hasn't been enough time. I don't know why I just made it gross. Mamdani's probably right about there. I would guess. Ideologically, he might be farther left. And then MAGA is MAGA's over here. MAGA's over here. MAGA's real close to fascist. But this is hard because it depends. As a movement, it's definitely fascist. So maybe the Republicans are farther over here. Anyway, we could debate this, right? Okay. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So sorry, this is a mess, but just generally, that's how that works. Okay. McGay. There you go. Okay. Anyway. So, all right. let's continue, guys. Here, speaking of that, right? Speaking of the Democratic Party failings, okay? I got a story for you. So someone, remember how the Democratic Party commissioned a report to determine why they lost the last election? Well, okay, well, someone leaked, uh, how dare you, Mayflower Kid? Okay, someone leaked to a reporter what that report determined because the Democratic Party has been keeping it quiet. They have not been talking about it. All right. And what the people of that report ended up saying was the big reason why Kamala Harris lost was, give me a second here, was this. Let me open this up. Okay. Gaza. The fact that the Kamala Harris would not come out strong in support of Gaza cost the Democrats tons of votes. And I'm sorry, I'm going to lose my mind. I suspect that not only me, but okay, Louise, how dare you? Okay. I suspect that all of you too at the time were probably saying the same thing, right? And we're saying shit like, Gaza is, or we're probably agreeing with this. We're probably being like, you're gonna lose, you better go against Israel, you better stand up for Gaza. You're gonna lose. Like so many progressives and lefties were saying this. She didn't listen. There were warnings in Michigan. There were tons of Muslim and Arab Michiganders who came out, and Christian Michiganders, by the way, who came out and said they weren't going to vote if she didn't change her position. She didn't listen. So again, yep, it was Gaza. And I will say this, okay? Yeah, she condemned protesters outside internationally wanted war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu speaking at Congress as anti-American. And guys, I got to tell you, this is actually good news, all right? I think it's somewhat good news. We have come to a point in this country where not supporting Gaza will make you lose an election, okay? That is somewhat of a positive, okay? I know it's also like, okay, that's somewhat of a positive that we've gotten to that point. Now, but Jesus Christ, it was obvious at the time, and they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. The Democrats wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. All right. Now then, we still don't know what else is in the report, but it is also reported in this article, guys, that that one of the big reasons why this also explains, by the way, why they kept it secret, why they didn't release the report. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Because the Democrats are so bribed by the pro-Israel lobby that if they were to release this report, it would imply that they have to start being more pro-Gaza, which would lose them a lot of donors. Okay? And guys, there is sort of a karmic justice in this. There is sort of a karmic justice in this, in that, I'm kind of glad she lost, right? If you're going to be pro-genocide, then whoops, that's what happens. And I know it still sucks because Trump was elected and he wasn't exactly not pro-genocide, but Jesus. Okay, anyway. So there you go. Sorry. I need some nuts. I also suspect, since we haven't released the whole report, I also suspect a lot of it had to do with economic messaging, but we still haven't seen the whole report. Okay. It's still secret. They still haven't released it yet. Yep. You're right, Outer Signal. Yep. Okay. Of course I went nuts in that saga. Okay. So there we go. We know. So for people who don't understand why why so many people focus on Gaza, and I get it. There's a lot of Americans out there who are like, I'm barely struggling. Why is the left so hyper-focused on Gaza? I have heard that argument. Well, for one thing, they're human beings, and I don't like genocide. But if you think that if that doesn't justify talking about Gaza to you, realize that not doing something about Gaza has massive political consequences. If you don't want the right wing to be elected, maybe the Democrats should stop ceding space to the right wing by not talking about Gaza. Okay? All right. We got that. All right. So I know I talk about international relations, but those who don't care about it, I'm sure you do. You guys care about it. Just realize it does impact things. Okay. Yay. Bum, 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 okay. Oh my God. So good. All right. All right. We good with that? We good with that? Good story? Can we name a thing she came out strongly on? No. All right. Okay, guys. So, yeah, that probably had a lot to do with it. Instead of pushing left, they moderate to the right for some. I know, right, Alyssa? They constantly think that if they go to the right, they'll get more right wing voters, but they should. Okay. It's stupid. Okay, I'm gonna put my face up, guys. Oop. Yeah, you're so right. Outer signal. It's all about. I'm sorry, plaster egg. Yeah, it's all about Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. They need to offer a positive vision of the future. Okay, guys. So, if you like, I'm going to do my little self promotion here. I haven't done it yet. If you like my content, you become a member on YouTube for as little as I think about $1 a month. You can help support me, help me do this long term. Click the join button to do that. Follow the channel if you like my content. You can also send me a super chat on YouTube or buy me a coffee. You can use this QR code that's right beneath my scepter. If you want to send me one there, if you send me $5 or more, I'll send you a video message. You can also support me over on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe on Twitch for free. Send me some of Jeff Bezos' money, and you no longer have to see ads over there. Or you could subscribe regularly and no longer have to see ads. You can also, if you're watching on Twitch, please follow me. There we go. Okay. Help support my channel. I'm trying to do this long term. Also linked at the top of both the YouTube and the Twitch chat. Oh, please do, Mr. King K. Linked at the top of the YouTube and Twitch chat is a link to our Discord. Please join our community's Discord. We have a fast-growing community in there. If the link doesn't work, let me know, guys. If the link doesn't work, let me know. Sometimes it expires and I don't realize it. So you can join our Discord community. You can also, there's a link there if you want to go over to Twitch and rather be on there. There's a link to my Twitch page. Sometimes I'm on Twitch and not on YouTube because there are certain streams that I can't do on YouTube that I can only do on Twitch. Okay. Lastly, if you want to send me buy me a coffee, there's also a link there. And please like the video if you haven't already. It'll help get more people in here. Okay. Woo. Okay. Yay. All right. Let me hand out some boops. Brucey, you get a boop. Boop. Mayflower Kid, you get a boop. Boop. Thank you, Dolly Boy. Dolly Boy gets 2 boops. Boop, boop. Okay. Who else we got here? Marzipan, you get a boop. Boop. Okay. Alyssa gets a boop. Boop. LaQuaw gets a boop. Boop. Mr. Kincaid gets a boop. Boop. Matt Saiga gets a boop. Boop. All right. I miss anyone? Ninjester, welcome. Gets a boop. Boop. Okay, that's enough, I think. Body Swap gets a boop. Boop. Cody gets a boop. Boop. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Thank you. Mayflower Kid, you get a bromp. Bromp. Bad Mayflower Kid. Thank you, Alyssa, for the boop. I mean, for the boop. You get a boop, Alyssa. Boop. All right. Outer Signal gets a boop. Boop. Weirdomorphous Blob gets a boop. Boop. All right. Anyway, there's more people out there I'm sure I'm missing, but Elliot Waffles gets a boop. Boop. Macon gets a boop. Boop. You all get boops. Okay, you're a Bright Love gets a boop. Boop. Hell, I didn't even know you noticed you were here, a Bright Love. Welcome, a Bright Love. And Louise gets a boop. Boop, boop. Everyone gets a boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Oh, hey, is the game on? It gets a boop. Boop. Okay. Mr. Is the game on says praise kink intensifies. Oh, is the game on? I will boop you all you want. Okay. Hi, Bright Love. Okay. Thank you, Alyssa. Alyssa says you deserved a boop this time. Always the booper, never the boopy, right? Oh, that's true. That sounds like a grinder profile, Alyssa. No, you know what? Never mind. That's a joke that I think the LGBTQers out there will understand. Anyway, okay, good luck, Stan Durko. Okay. Guys, this is funny. We have a first-time chatter in here. Welcome, by the way, Great Senarathna. Welcome. Um, Great Senarathna says, "Get a job, liberal." Come on. Okay, great. Okay. Now, guys, don't get mad. Don't get mad at Great Senarathna. We all know that that's like a very boring insult. Now, great. You have to notice that I have a jester scepter. This is supposed to be sort of an entertainment channel. I don't know if you're joking, but you might be joking. But like, you got to be more clever with the insults. I'm not even going to ban you. Can you try to do a more clever one so that at least I can get some content out of it, right? Because dear God, um, okay, I know you're on the left. Calling you guys a liberal is an insult, I think. Yeah, I agree. That's fair. You know what? Great, you're right. That is true. Okay, great, you're right. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you Great, forgive me if you were just trying to be funny. Yes, that's true. I don't like liberals. I appreciate you, great. Okay. Okay, welcome, great. All right. Um, all right. All right. So, and of course, I don't know your intentions here, great. So this is yet to be seen, but welcome to the chat, okay? Okay, Mayflower, could I hate you? All right. Okay. Correct, Ninjester, and I'm glad you spelled it right, Ninjester. Actually, very suspicious that Ninjester spelled grinder correctly. You're on the side that stands up for freedom. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are, great. That sounds like someone who loves freedom. What someone would see them would say. Yes, I know. I know. Great. That's clever. You're clever. All right. All right, you guys. So, oh, I'm sorry. I made you drink. But welcome. Great. Really. Okay, guys. So, some more information that we're going to talk about. Okay, we have some more interesting things I wanted to show you. Some things I think will make you all cringe. Welcome, Matt Mausard. Okay. Bye-bye. It's game on. Good luck at therapy. All right. Okay. All right, you guys. So here we go. Let's see here. We got all right. So going back to Twitch here. I mean, not Twitch, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, X. Okay. Put my face up here. All right. So here we got Twitter. Some things on Twitter I wanted to show you all. Dang cat, hilarious. Okay. All right. So here we got some interesting ones. First of all, we already saw this shit. We're not going to go through that again. We watched that before. Let's do this first. Okay, so some news here. By the way, here is, if everyone has heard, right? Speaking of international news, right now in Mexico, okay, right now in Mexico, this is, these are members of a cartel, all right? These are members of a cartel. All right. I don't know if you guys heard, but right now there's an cartels are rising up in Mexico because a top leader of a, I know, Mr. Kincaid, forgive me, a top leader of a Mexican cartel was killed by the Mexican government. And now there are uprisings all around Mexico. The cartel are burning buildings and stuff. Okay. Doug, exactly. Now you'll notice that these are cartel members. And the Mexican cartels are extremely well equipped. All right, they have the equipment of a military force. They're very well equipped. All right, and to be clear here, do we know where they got that equipment from? Where'd they get that equipment from? This is why we're looking at this. Because, yeah, Alyssa, exactly. Okay, exactly. A lot of the weaponry and stuff of the Mexican cartels comes from the United States because we produce so many weapons that we export them to crime organizations in other countries. So a lot of this equipment comes from back dealing and stuff with American weapons companies and things like that. Okay. Now, not all of these weapons come from America and all this equipment, but they are all this stuff comes from America. So just to show you how big our gun problem is and our weaponry problem is, it is being exported to other countries. And so now the Mexican drug cartels have the ability to essentially revolt if one of their leaders are killed. So the Mexican government is now having to send in the military to basically deal with um, a drug cartel insurgency. Okay. Um, all right. So that's what happens, right? Okay, great. I got you. Great. No, great. I'm glad you're here. I know you're like you're kidding and joke. You're kidding, etc. All right. Um. All right. So don't airstrike me, Bezos. Hilarious. Okay. So there we go. We got. So that's. I just wanted to show you that this is how we are exporting our weapons. Yeah, it is very possible, Meowsword. I suspect we were involved somehow, not necessarily helping, but with demanding that they do something like this because we've been threatening to attack. We've been threatening to attack Mexico over the drug cartels and shit. So this might be. We might have pressured Mexico into doing something about it themselves. Yeah. Okay. All right. Dolly Boy, yes, I know. I was actually already told, but that's great news that Peter Mandelson got arrested. All right. All right.
Puta madre, aplícale a la verga, aplícale al toro, perro. A ver, madre.
Okay, I don't know what they're saying. I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately, but okay. So just wanted to show you that. That's fun. Just going to show you that we are exporting our shit. All right. All right. So another thing here, right? Another thing here. Here we have some bullshit that is going to make me lose my mind. We have, there's been a bunch of propaganda being put out on, you know, American media and shit. Okay. I mean, like by the Trump administration after the Olympics. And it's so bad. It's comical. It is deeply comical at how incompetent and silly it is and how bad it is. Oh, really, Mr. King K? Whoopsie. All right. So let's take a look here at some of this propaganda. Okay. America, I don't care. America beat Canada in a game of some sort. I don't know, golf or something. I don't know. But automatically, Trump posted this shit because Trump has to, Trump has to take credit for everything. So watch. He posted this AI video on his account. Great. Great. So that's fun. It's kind of is ruined for me because after watching what's that show called, the gay hockey show? Shit, Heated Rivalry. So I watched Heated Rivalry, and Heated Rivalry, honestly, gay shows aren't that, I don't know, they're not that great. I like good stories anyway. But, Heated Rivalry, I watched it, but it's not that great. It's basically softcore porn. But anyway, um, it could be sexy, I guess. But but seeing this definitely ruins that for me. If it was sexualized at all for me before, the sport is definitely ruined after watching that. Okay, how dare you, Matt Sagi? Okay, Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he's not fat and actually talented, right? Okay. So just kind of a funny bullshit that our country's dealing with while we're depriving the Cuban people, about to bomb Iran. We also have, some of his supporters posting down here. Alberta separation, separate Alberta. Loiso, welcome, Loiso. Yes, it is very gay. Okay. Um. Okay. The whole okay. All right. Hey, great. Let's see here. Great. I don't know what that means there. Great. Arathna. I don't know what that means, but don't be mean to Canada. What are you talking about? Okay, no Canada hate in here. All right. No Canada hate in here. All right. All right. So isn't that fun? Here we have another piece of propaganda. This is actually from the White House. This is actually the White House Twitter account. It posts on here. Okay. It posts on here the following. Here it says at the bottom what Justin Trudeau said. It said, "You can't take our country, and you can't take our game." And then it posts an image. This is so cheesy. It has an image of a bald eagle killing a Canadian goose. No, Brucey, this is gay. I agree. This is a very gay. This is so gay, right? This is so ridiculous. Like what? It's so cheesy. It's like yeah, they think it goes hard. It's just stupid. Okay, like yeah, look at this eagle taking out this Canadian goose. Oh wow. Okay, awesome. Don't we love that for us? Yeah, there you go. Trash eagle versus communal goose. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right, Jonas. Jesus. Yeah, Brucey, disgusting. Okay. Yeah, totally normal, right, Alyssa? Jesus. So this is the okay, so this is the, advanced level of propaganda we have in this country. Don't we love that for us? That's fun. All right. Another thing here, right? We're going through a bunch of little shorts here. Okay, we are both straight in comparison. True. That's true, Ninjester. All right. I agree, Ninjester. We're definitely straight compared to these posts that we're seeing. All right. Okay, guys. So some other things here. What I want to show you next here. Okay. Another fun thing that I thought we should maybe talk about is kind of short here, I guess. Right. Where is it? Okay. Do we all know? We all know this is for my UK folks out there. I have been fascinated by the rise of the Restore Party, the Restore Britain Party. Okay, or I think it's called the Restore Party. And so I'm now subscribed to their site, or like, following their site, not subscribed to it. And I'm just loving the propaganda they're putting out. It is so fascist and so on par with what we see in America in a lot of ways. So I thought I'd show you all. For those who don't know, the Restore Party is a break off, from the what is it called? The Reform Party. And they're much farther right. Maybe not much, but quite a bit farther right. They're farther right, okay? They don't think the Reform Party goes far enough. They're particularly angry. They're particularly angry with the fact that yay, Hiyori, how you doing? Okay. Yeah, right, Hiyori. Okay. They yeah, the reason they don't like reform is because reform doesn't openly call for the deportation of migrants. They don't think that reform goes far enough. They want to deport all, hundreds and thousands of migrants from the UK. All right? It's really gross that okay, so I let's just watch this little clip here. Uh First of all, well, actually, let's do this first. So here they posted this lovely piece of propaganda. For those who aren't from the UK, think about how this plays into what we've learned about fascism, the ideology of fascism, and how it works politically. You will be able to see immediately that this fits all the notions of fascism we've learned about. Here we have this Restore Britain. So first of all, this is palingenetic ultranationalism, the idea of restoring Britain, okay? Then it says here, Britain is a Christian country guided by Christian principles, and under a Restore British government, it would remain that. Okay. Mm, right. Very Christian principles. Gotta, arrest anyone going against what's happening in Palestine, etc. Okay. So anyway, so that's cute. Very Christian. Let's deport everyone who doesn't look like us. So that's very much we have another far right person posting underneath it. Conservative West is the name of this site, and it says, "Let's go. Christ is king, no Islam." Yeah, right, Doug? So this is cute, right? Isn't this cute? So very fascist. And so now let's watch this little video. I don't know who this is.
Don't support
Here we go.
these people.
Okay, this is an interview with Nigel Farage. Okay, Nigel Farage was I think the founder of the Reform Party, and he was the founder, right? And the Restore Party doesn't like him because they don't think he's radical enough. So this guy who's part of the Restore Party does a gotcha on him. How dare you, Matt Zyga? Right? Look, why is Jesus always so sexy? They always make him look all muscular and shit, even though I really doubt that that's the case. I really doubt that he would have been muscular. No, Brucey, this isn't Nigel Farage. I'm saying this guy is interviewing Nigel Farage. Okay, so let's see. Okay, here we go.
These people need to go, don't they? And by saying that you don't support, mass deportations,
if I say I support mass deportations, that's all anybody will talk about for the next 20 years. So it's pointless even going there.
So it's a rhetorical problem.
It's a political impossibility to deport hundreds of thousands of people. We simply can't do it.
These people.
So, okay. Notice he didn't say that he didn't want to do it. He just said we can't say that and we can't win. But and then Restore Britain responds by saying weak sauce, because they want him to just deport everyone. They want him to deport everyone like Trump is doing. All right. So okay. By the way, none of these people are good. Nigel Farage is a horrible person. The Restore Party people are worse people. Yeah, he doesn't look disappointed, right? At all, Louise. Right? Okay. Yeah, Nigel Farage I would bet Nigel Farage would try to do that probably. He almost admitted, he kind of made it sound like it was a rhetorical point, right? He's like, well, we wouldn't get away with anything if we wouldn't be able to do that. We'd be deeply unpopular. It's a political impossibility. So, okay. These people are gross. I've been so interested to see the kind of, because it's just an interesting thing here. We got here, by the way, if you see this symbol in the lower right-hand corner, that's a very fascist sort of symbol, that cross. You see it in a lot of places. I forget what it's called, but okay. Anyway, this guy, saying that they need to deport. This guy, by the way, let's listen to this. This is what he says he wants to do in the UK he wants to make immigrants leave by creating the most hostile environment possible to them.
No other political party has put out a definitive document like that.
Yeah, Matt Saigai. And that symbol is used even in the United States to mean far right, like Christian nationalist, white nationalist ideologies. It's sort of an international far right symbol. Okay.
On detaining and
okay, bye-bye, Louise.
The reasons why it's difficult, the constitutional solutions, and then the practical solutions, such as making it a hostile environment and encouraging people to go home. I mean, we are spending far too much on people coming here illegally who don't share our culture. You and I agree they come from tribal cultures with different
tribal cultures? What the
customs, different beliefs, who probably put their own religion way.
What's so funny is that he's doing tribalism. He's saying we have the British tribe, okay, and no one else anyone who's not in that tribe should be expelled. So he's doing the tribalism, right? Like, if you want to use the word correctly, all right.
The interests of
I agree, Matt Saigai. I agree.
Our country. So look, let's just get real about all this stuff.
So he's basically saying, guys, I want to make the worst possible environment possible, for immigrants in the UK so that they leave voluntarily, right? Scare them away. Okay. Oh, I know, Macon. He does. That's exactly what he means, Macon. When he says tribal, he means primitive. He's using it as a derogatory term, okay? I'm just saying that he's also being tribal, but not in the way he thinks, right? Um, okay. Uh, yeah. Oh my God, Dolly Boy, you're is really they did a bit of propaganda with him on a farm. That is super fascist. Okay. Okay. So anyway, it's just I am very oh my God, look at this. This looks so fascist too. I just am so fascinated with their shit. Oh God, I don't even want to get into that. Um, oh, also, they said this, something else I wanted to mention. They said that Restore Britain would repeal the assisted dying bill and reverse recent changes which decriminalize abortion up to birth. British Christians now have a political party that represents their views and will act on it. So they want to ban abortion and they want to get rid of assisted dying. Ah, God. They're just like, all right. Well, that's very American of them, I guess. Jesus. All right. Anyway, so there you go. So it's been very interesting and terrifying to watch the rise of these folks. Very interesting and terrifying to watch the rise of these folks. Can they yapping and try to pretend they're going to raise? I know, right? They're not. Yeah, but okay. Really? Tennessee is pushing a bill that gives the death penalty for women who have abortions? I did not hear about that. Disgusting. Yeah. All right. That's okay, Bruce. See, Matt's like, how dare you? All right. Mr. King K says, I'm getting tired of seeing 40-plus-year-old men and official government accounts posting like 13-year-olds in their badass face. I know, right? These grown-ass government officials can't even pretend to have couth. Yeah, and I don't think they're trying. I think they know it gets more views, you know? No, they won't win, Hayori. I hope they don't. I'm hoping that the fact that they broke off from the Reform Party will make it harder for either party to win. I hope. Okay? Fascism, though, can be unpredictable, but I hope. Okay. Another thing here. I just thought this was interesting. I don't know. I don't think this means anything, honestly, guys. Like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm being supremacist in some way. It was just an interesting study where they broke in the United States. Okay, bye-bye, Cody. Free Palestine. There's an interesting stat. Okay, this is the percentage of adults with a bachelor's degree or higher by religion in the United States. In the United States, Hindus, 70% have a bachelor's degree or higher. Jewish folks, 65%. Orthodox Christians, 45%. Muslim is 44%. At the very bottom, or I guess all at the bottom, are Christians, from like 40% down to 24%. Evangelical Protestants, okay, are low. The Muslims in the United States are more educated than Christians are. Hindus are more educated. Now, I'm not. It's interesting. This is not, by the way, saying that like one of these religions is better than the other, but there are interesting reasons why this might be the case, right? A lot of people who move to the U.S. have the means to do so. A lot of them, especially if they come from like India or whatever, they'll have the means to do so. So they might have access to better education. This is complicated, but it's just an interesting stat I saw. How a lot of Christians are less educated. Okay. What's an Orthodox Christian? Those would be like Eastern Orthodox, like Greek Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, things like that. Okay. Okay. No, Matt, I'm not Matt. I'm just saying that, like, I'm trying to figure out. In the United States, at least, Matt, like a lot of the Indian folks that come here are at least pretty well off, or at least they're able to move here and afford it. So, yeah, okay. But again, I don't know exactly how that works. I mean, I don't really know why this is the case. Okay. Hi, Plant Sunshine. Welcome. What do you mean we have to be nicer to new viewers, Mayflower Kid? I don't know who you're talking about. Okay. All right. So And of course, guys, on average, about 30%, 35% of Americans have a college degree, which is pretty bad. Okay. Pretty bad. Okay. All right. So anyway, just an interesting thing there. I thought you guys might find that interesting. That's interesting, Jonas. Right. That's very interesting. The Prophet Muhammad's quote, seeking knowledge is obligatory upon every Muslim. Yeah. But again, I will say I know a lot of Muslim folks that do come to the US can afford to. So a lot of times they're a bit more well off. I'm not trying to generalize here, but I'm not sure why this is. It's just an interesting thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. 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 Yeah. Yeah. No. LaCroix. America has not. Well, the majority of people haven't had any sort of college. Yeah. Okay. So going on here. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. All right, here we go. So here we have I just love this woman. Let's do a little bit of a palate cleanser, shall we, guys? You ready for a palate cleanser? That's true, Jonas. It always amazes me, Jonas, how, there was a trend. It's like in a lot of places in the Islamic world to memorize the Quran. I'm like, dear God, how do you do that? Like you got to read that Quran a lot. That's very impressive, being able to memorize the Quran and stuff. Okay. So this is just sort of a palate cleanser. This is a woman on a American college campus, and there is this Christian, I guess, evangelist on this campus railing against gay people, railing against abortion, and he's kind of doing a Charlie Kirk type thing where he has this mic set up, and then he debates people that come up to him. And she comes up, and I love her reaction to what he has to say. I think this is the right reaction. And as a jester, I approve. Okay. So let's watch her reaction to his ideas. All right. I love it.
You think homosexuality is a sin?
I do.
Are we serious? I can't tell if you're trolling. Is this a troll?
No. That's one of my beliefs.
And is abortion wrong?
I do.
You don't even have a vagina.
I do have the right to take a moral stance, though.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Because it's a human life.
You don't even know what it's like. Does America need Christianity? What are we talking about? What are you talking about?
Plant Sunshine, thank you so much for that contribution. Really, thank you. Whoop, whoop, payday. Yay, Plant Sunshine. Hey, thank you very much, Plant Sunshine, for that super chat. Really.
I'm so sorry. This is just so hilarious. Is homosexuality a sin? And this is how you think Jesus would go about this?
Yes, absolutely. I take all these and I explain them non-biblically and biblically.
And you think homosexuality...
So I deeply approve of how she reacts to this guy, just laughing in his face. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know. I really like that. Like, just being like, what are you talking about? You're insane. Anyway, so did you guys like that? I just thought it'd be a cute little palate cleanser there. Y'all might enjoy it. All right. Y'all might enjoy that shit. Very fun moment, I thought. All right. You didn't like it, Brucey. Why not? Okay. She's Brucey, she's making fun of him by laughing at him, okay? She cast vicious mockery. Exactly, Ninjester, right? Okay. So here another little palate cleanser. So, oh my God, you guys, I know this man makes me feel better about shit. Okay, he makes me feel better about a lot. So Zohran Mamdani has been doing a lovely job in New York City. Oh my God, he has been. Yeah, man, daddy. He's been doing such a lovely job in New York City, and he's so personable. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is our boyfriend. This is our collective boyfriend, right? Also, just look how attractive he is, dear God. So he has not allowed any snow days yet in New York, and he finally decided to allow a snow day. And he knows how upset kids have been because he hasn't been allowing snow days. So he decided to personally start calling some kids to tell them that he's giving them a snow day. It's propaganda, but it's like cute propaganda. And I love it. And so just to show you him calling this one of this girl from New York and telling her, "Hey, by the way, you have a snow day today." For those who don't know, I think most people in here know what a snow day is. But in the US and like places where there's a lot of snow especially, if there's too much snow on the roads for people to there's too much snow on the roads for people to go into school, then they'll close the school for the day, all right? All right.
Hello. Oh my God, Mayor.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi.
So I thought as the mayor, I wanted to call you and give you some news. We've got a full snow day tomorrow. No online school, no remote learning, full classic snow day. So my only ask to you is that just stay safe, stay indoors during the height of the storm. Once that is passed, feel free to go out and sled. Thank you so much, Victoria.
Amazing.
Bye.
Oh, okay. So that's the kind of stuff he's doing. Like calling kids, telling them they have snow days. I don't know if you guys heard like look at this extremist, Jonas. The Islamic Caliphate of New York is really brutal. Look how they treat their girls. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Socialism has gone too far. Mamdani is out there controlling when it snows. Yeah. So, fun note here, guys. Fun note. He also launched this very cool program that I love it. It's like, okay, where because they're being hit by a horrible storm, he launched a program where any New Yorker can go down to like a station or like a fire station or whatever and can pick up a snow shovel and get paid to help shovel snow. So he's asking the community to get out there and the state will pay them to help shovel snow, to help clear out the city communally. And it's paid labor, right? I love this idea, getting the community to come together to do labor for the sake of the community and then paying people. Like, okay, it's cool. Okay, isn't that cool? All right. And I just love that, okay? So that and obviously, guys, it's not much money. It's not like $28 is not a terrible amount, but the fact that they're paying people at all is pretty cool. And it's sort of a voluntary thing. It's not like they're forcing you to do it. Okay, yeah, you do need an ID to do it because they need to pay you. Yeah, he's just like helping, and I love that idea of like the community coming together to help clear the snow out. And then the fact that they're paying people. Yeah. Okay. Yep. It's not going to be voluntary for people who need that money. Yeah. Draconian? Are you crazy, Brucey? Okay. All right. So like it's just interesting, right? The reason that he asks for how dare you, okay, Min, the reason they ask for ID is because they need to know, who they're paying and things like that afterwards, I'm guessing. All right. It might also have to do with state law. Okay. They do, right? That's the thing, sir. They do. They have state workers who do like drive snow trucks and stuff, but those guys have to put in a ton of hours in hard conditions. So the idea here is to help folks. Oh, by the way, it's actually it's not $28. You do know, guys, it's $28 per hour, right? It's $19 to $28 per hour. We're not talking like which is good, right? Which is good. That's a lot of money. So, and after you've worked more than 40 hours a week, it goes up to 28. So it starts at $19 an hour, and then after you've worked more than 40 hours doing it, the pay jumps up to 28. That's an amazing amount of money. That's a good amount of money. I mean, it's not a huge amount of money, but it's a good amount of money to pay people just to go down and start, doing that. All right. About 500. About 500 shovelers. It expanded it to 100 and so 1,400 people. 1,400 people signed up to do this. Okay. Anyway, To qualify, applicants must be at least 18 years old, eligible to work in the United States, and capable of heavy physical labor. Registration typically happens in person at the local sanitation garages. Bring 2 small photos, ID, and a social security card, or online through the city snow response site. Okay. Isn't that nice? Okay, I just thought that was cool. All right. So that's, I think, a cool idea. Get the community to work together. Would they bring encampment sweeps? Oh, I don't know about that, Alyssa. I didn't heard about that. That's interesting. I'd have to look into that. So just a fun thing he's doing. Another thing to be happy about, like doing some shit like that. I'm so Midwestern. That's almost what my husband supports. A family of 5 on per hour. Yeah, Alyssa. Oh my God. I know, right? Now, of course, that doesn't go nearly as far in New York, that amount of money, but still. Okay. Matt's like, all right. All right, you guys. So there's that. Some other stuff here. Oh, one more kind of cute thing, I guess you could say. Where is it? All right. I just thought this was a really cool mural. We see this mural here? So this is Harriet Tubman. This is a mural of Harriet. I just really like this image. I know it's kind of, I don't know. I really like this image. This is a great photograph of this little African American girl, this little Black American girl going up towards an image of Harriet Tubman that has been painted on a wall. It looks beautiful to me. And it's just a fun little historical fact here. For those who don't know who Harriet Tubman was, she was a former American slave who escaped slavery, traveled to the northern United States, and then went back into, she was such a badass, went back into the South dozens, if not hundreds of times, to rescue, dozens of times, to rescue other enslaved people, okay? And she was brilliant. She was able to rescue tons of people from the South and bring them up to the North to freedom. And she was a badass lady. Like, she would have a pistol on her, and a lot of times the enslaved people she was rescuing would get scared, and they'd be like, you know what? No, I'm going to go back. I'm just going to go back to the plantation. They're going to catch us. She would pull out her pistol and point it at them and be like, well, you can either, nope, you're going to freedom, whether you want to or not. So even when they would get afraid, she would force them to freedom. And through her entire career, she never lost a single person that she rescued. Okay. She didn't lose a single one on her way to bringing them to freedom. And she even would give, woke abduction. She even would give babies that she was rescuing tonic, opium or paregorics, in order to make them not cry so that slave catchers wouldn't hear them. So she would literally sort of sedate the babies so that they wouldn't be crying while they were trying to escape. And she rescued so many people. Not only that, folks, something else that people don't, Sir Bartholomew, don't know about her that is very cool. She is considered the first female military commander in the United States because during the Civil War, she was appointed a post in the military and she led Black troops into the South, raiding up and down the southern frontier, burning down plantations and rescuing slaves. She, like, badass, okay? And she also, by the way, on a side note here, Harriet Tubman also had a epilepsy. She would have seizures. And there were times where she would have a seizure in the midst of trying to rescue people. And there was one time where she was being chased by slave catchers, and she had a seizure, and she woke up, and she was just lucky that they didn't find her, but she still kept going into the South. Kept going into the South. One of the most badass people in history, in my opinion. Okay, one of the most badass people in history. And we really ought to respect her more. Like, amazing shit. Very amazing shit. Very brave woman. Okay. Yep, she was friends with John Brown. Absolutely. She almost went to Harper's Ferry with him, but she was ill at the time. So yeah, all these folks knew each other. A lot of them did. All of these abolitionists and such. Okay. Yep, you're right, LaCroix. John Brown did. You guys know your history. John Brown loved her. She is such a badass figure. Like, her and John Brown are both very badass figures. Okay. All right. So I wanted to show you here. If there's a scene I can probably find to show you guys. Harriet Tubman. Leads troops in South. Okay. There was a scene from a movie. Oh yeah, here we go. We'll just watch this real fast.
Suppose there's a snake coiled at your feet. It shoots up to bite you.
This movie is not that great, I gotta tell you. Yes, they did. So there is a movie called Harriet. There's a movie called Harriet, okay? And it's a pretty good movie. It's still not that great. I got to tell you, you should watch it, Jonas. But you can almost honestly, guys, I don't trust any movie that has to do with slavery that isn't rated R. I know that sounds weird, but they just you can automatically tell that there's a problem with the movie once you see that Harriet is PG-13. Like, it should probably be R. It probably isn't showing you the reality of things if it's just PG-13. I got to tell you. Regardless, it's an okay movie. It's a good movie. It shows some of the stuff she did. One of the scenes that the scene I'm going to show you here is a pretty good scene where they show her leading these black troops against the Confederates. There was a TV show about John Brown. It's called The Good Lord Bird. Yes. Oh, very good. That's a very good one too, okay? But anyway, so here you go.
Suppose there's a snake coiled at your feet. It shoots up to bite you.
All right.
Folks get scared and send for a doctor to cut out the bite. But the snake, he rolled up dead. While the doctor...
By the way, we often forget, guys, that, a lot of times I will hear lefties say that, well, the Civil War wasn't really, Lincoln didn't really care about the enslaved people and things like that. It was really a war about protecting the Union and crap like that. They didn't really care. Okay, there's partially true. That's partially true. That does not mean that we shouldn't be celebrating. That does not mean, though, that it was not a war of liberation for some people. I can promise you that the Black Union troops were fighting for freedom and liberation. They knew exactly what they were fighting for. So just be careful. Like, I know a lot of, especially lefties out there, like, think anything to do with American history must be always negative and not about liberation. For some people, it was, though, about liberation. I can promise you the black troops were definitely fighting for liberation. And they had a reason to fight, to get freedom and to rescue the enslaved people from the South, okay? So anyway, there's a great scene in a movie called Glory, okay? Yeah, exactly, Jonas, right? And there were also some white folks fighting for the freedom of black folks. Not all of them, but let's not overgeneralize about these things. And also, it also bothers me sometimes how people will say, well, just because Lincoln, that might not have been his number one, he didn't care that much about it. That doesn't mean it wasn't a good thing that he did. He is the one who, okay, regardless, it's kind of a nitpick of mine. Okay.
Cut. Bite you again. In a new place this time. Finally, you realize the snake ain't gonna stop till someone kills him. Slavery is...
I know it's kind of dark, but she's talking to black troops about trying to inspire them for the battle she's about to lead them into.
Still alive. Those rice fields downriver are feeding rebel troops with the toil of 1,000 slaves still in bondage. Our mission is to free those slaves. We've waited years to be allowed to fight in this war against our own enslavement, and it will not be won without us.
Good call, LaCroix.
Now's our time. You ready to kill the snake?
Yes!
Wade in the water.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, Ninjester, they do. The letters of secession do.
Water. Wade in the water, children.
The music is great too.
Wade in the water. God is gonna trouble
So badass.
these water.
So goddamn bad. I have to keep pausing it, folks, so I don't get a copyright here. But yeah, she would do this. She would sing and stuff. It actually would sometimes bother the troops because they didn't want to be spotted, but it also calmed them down. Okay. Right? Look, I have goosebumps too. Look at this shit. It is outer signal. It is. I think it is. Yeah, it is. So she might be about to have a seizure. This would happen. These are enslaved people who see the Union coming and are running to them away from the slave owners. Okay.
Ready?
Okay. You guys get it. Oh, I wish we could have seen the shooting back and forth. Okay. Loiso, the whole Confederate Navy. That is a nerdy history joke, Loiso. Okay. I wish we could have seen the shooting back and forth because I love violence. But anyway, so there you go. Okay, great scene there. All right. So if anyone's interested, you can watch that movie called Harriet. Okay. All right. Wade in the water. Okay. Anyway, very badass woman. Just something to think about. A lot of people don't understand. By the way, the reason she had seizures was because, just to show you how this is why I say any slavery movie that isn't isn't rated R probably is missing something about the slavery. When she was younger, the owner, her owner, I hate these terms. There's no good way to refer to these people. Got very angry at another enslaved person that she was standing next to. Okay, they were literally standing next to each other, and this enraged slave owner picked up a big chunk of metal slag, so like just a chunk of metal, and hauled it as hard as he could towards the head of the enslaved person standing next to her, and he missed, and it hit Harriet Tubman in the head instead, and that's what gave her permanent seizures for the rest of her life. Okay, I mean, I just wanted to illustrate that. That's a very small example of the kind of brutality that were faced by enslaved people. Slavery was constantly violent. I cannot understate that enough. It was constant violence. And think about it. People don't want to be slaves. Do you think they're going to constantly do what they're told? No, they're going to be resisting. So basically, there was constant violence being done to them to keep them from resisting. The brutality is really under a movie that shows this really well, by the way, is 12 Years a Slave. Okay, yeah, Loiso, right? I recommend the movie 12 Years a Slave. It's very good. It is very brutal. Okay, very brutal. And very brutal, and I recommend just be cautious, okay, when you watch it. But that's a good representation of a lot of slavery. Now, it's not perfect, but it's good. Weirdly enough, another movie that's pretty good when it comes to slavery, although again, it's partially a dark comedy, would be yes, Plant Sunshine. Yeah. Oh my God, Jonas, I cried so much at the end of 12 Years a Slave. Oh my God. It'll crush your hearts, folks. Another good one here would actually be, what is it called? Django Unchained. Now, that one is not, like, necessarily historically great, but it does kind of show in a Tarantino-y way what slavery was like. Yeah, Plant Sunshine. The book 12 Years a Slave is heartrending. Okay, absolutely heartrending. But it's just something to remember, guys, that there are, you know, slavery was horrible. Okay, and there are some heroes from that time that don't get talked about enough. All right, for a while they were saying that they were going to make put Harriet Tubman on one of the American bills. This is like not that important of a thing, but I really wish they would do that. Okay. Hell, put John Brown on one of the bills. That'd be badass too. These aren't good movies to watch in a blizzard. That's for sure, Mayflower Kid. Maybe you don't want to do that there, all right? Okay, guys, I'm going to put my face up real fast here. I am going to go and pee. I'm going to go urinate because I am full of liquids, okay? I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Please wait for me, and then we'll do some video reactions, okay? We'll do some video reactions. Have we gone to war with Iran yet? I got to check. What, Loy? So I just have to urinate. I just have to expel filth from my body. I'll be right back, okay? Everyone, I love you very much. I love you very much. Okay, everyone ready for this? Everyone ready? I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Right back. Hi guys, hello, I'm back. Sorry, I had to pee a little bit. There. Okay, guys, so let's go on to our next thing, shall we? we have a few videos here that some of them are from, how dare you, Alyssa? Some of them are from, what's the place? I don't know, Discord, whatever the hell the name of that site is. That's so vital to everything. Okay, some of them are from Discord.
On September 10th.
Some of them are from Discord. Let's see. Oh, let's start with a little something here. All right. I thought it'd be kind of fun for us to watch just
Hello,
this.
everybody.
Okay.
I'm Maxi.
So
Welcome to a new episode.
we're going to start with kind of a fun video. All right. Okay. I think, well, hopefully you'll enjoy it, guys. Okay. This is a short one that I thought would be interesting for us to do. It is called The Wild World of Chinese Gay Slang. And it's a very short video. He is just going to be telling us how in China the words that the words that gay people in China use, kind of like the slang that they use compared to the slang that American gay folks use. So it'll be brief. All right. So I thought it would be kind of fun, right? So some Chinese words, how the language for gay people in China is different from ours, all right? So everyone ready for this? We'll watch this real fast. It'll be kind of fun, By the way, he's very cute, all right? Anyway, moving on. Everyone, there you go. I don't know what that means, but okay, let's watch it real fast, and then we'll get on to some good stuff, okay? I mean, this is good stuff, I think. All right.
Now that there are China travel videos all over the internet, Chengdu somehow became world famous. It now seems to be known more as the gay capital instead of the panda capital. And there seem to be a lot of people coming just for that experience. At least that's what I get from my bubble on the internet. So that's why I decided to make this episode to give a 101 on the wild world of Chinese gay slang. Should I call them slang? I don't know. Anyway, this episode is about this socialist dark magic.
Okay, all right, sorry.
In case you come for the experience but cannot get it due to language barrier. And before we start,
okay, I'm going to go on here.
In China is very colorful and descriptive. For the basics, the most common ones, we have 灵一公兽雄猴狼牛农. These are just the most commonly used ones.
1-0 attack except bear, monkey, wolf, cow, farmer. Okay, we'll see what these mean.
And there are actually more, and some subcultures may have their own slang, but we don't have time to cover all of them in this episode. So these ones, if you can already guess what they mean without me explaining, congratulations, you have a wild imagination. You should do art. Unless you are Aquarius, because then you would be a starving artist, and we don't want to be starving, do we? Anyway, these
Me too. I'm trying to figure this out.
The Chinese gay taxonomy in China is a little different from the English ones. For example, here people don't say top and bottom. So if you talk about these things to a non-English speaker and you use the direct translation from these words, they wouldn't understand what you are saying. Because here we say 一 and 零.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Boy, does that Chinese character really make what a top is understandable, right? Look at that. That's just a 1. Okay, so a 1, a yi. I can't speak the language, but okay, that makes sense. And then a 0. Okay, this is starting to make sense to me. Do we see how that might okay, you all get it. Okay.
1 and 0, because that's how graphic things like this can get here. And by the way, if you are talking about someone who regularly switches between 1 and 0, it's called 0.5, 0.5. And on top of that, we have another level, and it's called 攻 and 受. The character 攻 literally means attack, and 受 means accept.
Yeah, China is naughty. Oh yes. Do you gong or shu? Do you attack or accept?
Endure. So the dominant one, the proactive one, is 攻, and the submissive one is 受. Sometimes I see some people mistake this with top and bottom, especially some straight girls who watch the gay world as a hobby. No, they are not the same. Gong and shou are not top and bottom. That's 1 and 0. This part is just talking about the dynamics in the relationship. It has nothing to do with
so it's
sex.
like sub-dom.
So,
Gotcha.
yes, for the basics, we have 2 levels talking about gay relationships. Okay, and aside from this, there are also many very common and colorful gay slang for some gay subtypes based on how they look or what activities they enjoy. And somehow, nearly all of them are animal words. I think the most easy one to understand is 熊.
Well, that probably translates almost directly into English, right? I mean, the gay community here has the same thing, bear. I wonder, well, let's see if it does mean the same thing. I'm guessing it means the same thing.
Bear. This type also exists in the English gay world, but sometimes this name here can have a slightly different nuance. In general, this is describing the gays that are on the more meaty side, or should I say,
I love
chubby.
how careful he's being with his words. It's kind of cute.
It can be with or without muscle.
Do you think he's a 1 or a 0 or an accept or an attack? What do we think?
And they are hairy. That's a bear. That's a 熊. On the opposite side of 熊, you have 猴, which means monkey. This is used to describe a slim or even skinny gay without much muscle.
That sounds like an insult. Okay, I mean, that's okay. Whatever, different culture, different thing.
That's a 猴, a monkey. And by the way, this...
Wait, I'm sorry, a hoe is a monkey? That's kind of silly.
Names are not used as an insult. It's commonly used in the gay world here. And by the female gay
That's what
lovers
it
here,
sounded
we have a
like,
lot of them
Hiyori.
here. Anyway,
I know
that's
it's
熊
not.
and
I know it doesn't mean the same thing, but it's kind of funny that the sound of that word sounds a lot like hoe. Anyway.
Hoe, bear, and monkey. And besides these
There you
two,
go,
there is
Lacroix.
another very commonly used type. That's lang, which means
lang.
wolf. This one is used to describe the slim but muscular kind. So most of the gym gays you now see on Instagram and Xiaohongshu belong to this type. So these 3 are the most basic types. And again, I want to mention, because of how short and simple these Chinese words are, it's very easy to use them as a language Lego to express very complicated identity. And people here do that. For example,
I know, right? Marzipan power, it's disgusting that we don't celebrate that as much.
熊灵 and 猴一, 熊灵公, 猴一寿. It's pretty easy to freestyle it. Okay, these 3 types are
Wait, I don't get it. So he's saying like you can say whether they're 1 or 0, accept or attack, and then their body type?
about your appearance. And there are also some common subtypes that's talking about what activities you enjoy. And on this side, I think the most common one you can see is 牛, which means cow.
Cow.
And here it's specifically referring to dairy cow.
Oh God, please don't tell me. Why do you have to say dairy cow? Oh no. I think I can see where this is going. Something to do with milk?
And what do dairy cows do? They produce milk in a large quantity. So here, a cow is describing someone that, in a very BDSM sense. And then, after you understand that there are cows, it becomes very easy to understand that there are farmers. 农, it means farmer. This is also a common type.
You get it,
And
Sir.
what do
Come on,
farmers
Sir Bartholomew. You know exactly what he means. I can't say it, but you know exactly what he means. What do you mean, huh? You know exactly what he means, Sir Bartholomew.
do? Some farmers plant crops, some farmers plant fruits, some farmers plant flowers, some farmers milk cows.
Oh!
So these 2 types always appear together. They are inseparable. Okay, I think we need to make it stop here, otherwise it would become too graphic.
It wasn't too graphic already. What the hell does he mean? He's like, it'll become too graphic if we keep going. That was already pretty graphic. Okay.
And these basic types is already enough for you to navigate most of the gay world here. And again, I want to say, I really think Mandarin is very convenient in expressing complicated identity like
There you
this.
go, Retro
This
Retro.
channel is by principle about Mandarin. Do we still
Hey guys,
remember
we're
that?
learning together,
Anyway,
right?
it's very
We're learning other cultures. This is very productive for us.
convenient to express identity. For example, there are now many young straight girls like
so.
saying they are 直女微霜, literally means straight woman, a little bit bisexual. usually in a joking and somewhat irresponsible situation.
Straight
a lot
woman,
of
a little
lesbians are not happy
bisexual.
about that.
Any straight
and
women
they
in
are not
here who are a little bisexual? Is that a curiosity?
serious enough. So there is now a vibe like, my costume is not your No, my culture is not your costume. That seems to be a little bit oversensitive in my opinion. I think maybe learn from the gays. You need to encourage the other side to sometimes try something better. It's better for the exposure and the public image, right? Anyway, those are...
Okay, dear God. All right, well, we learned something. Yay! We learned something. That's funny. Isn't it great how different cultures have these different terms for things? I likely will never have... Most of you will probably never have to use these terms. Good for you if you do. I'm just saying. Go and find yourself a farmer or whatever it may be. Anyway, okay, I agree. The world will be much better if everyone was bisexual. Plus, it'd just be more fun for everyone, right? Everyone could sample the buffet. All right. So, except for bi people don't exist, of course, as we've established, right? We all know that, right? Bi people don't exist. Anyway, so, okay, there we go. Isn't that kind of cute? I thought that was kind of fun. I think that was kind of fun. A cute little thing. Watch the poorly made Splatoon video. We'll do it eventually, Retro Asher. I have a lot of stuff to do today, though, but we'll do it eventually, okay? Let's see here. Share the milk. Marzipan power. Crumbles to dust. Marzipan power. Yeah, exactly. Marzipan power. There you go. There you go. You should, because you don't exist, okay? All right. Okay, dear God. All right, so let's watch something else here now. Another thing I thought would be interesting is where did I see this shit? Where'd it go? Boop-a-doop-boo, boop-a-doop-boo. All right,
This highway has...
do we want to do this one first? We'll do this one first. Actually, let's watch this first. So real fast, this is another short one. This is a, I'll put the guillotine away. All right. So, share the milk, kinky. We have this. This is an old Amazon video. You notice it's been recorded. So someone took out their camera and they recorded Amazon's anti-union videos. So Amazon is constantly fighting against the unionization of their employees. I wonder why. Surely it doesn't have to do with them wanting to get more profits, right? Trying to prevent workers from having too much power over their own wages. By the way, all of you should unionize your workplaces. All of you should unionize your workplaces. I highly recommend you look up. I am not an expert on this, but maybe I'll get Twin Revolt. I'll get Twin Revolt in here to talk about how to unionize your workplaces, but you should all try to unionize your workplaces if they're not unionized already. There are laws around it. It's not as hard as it seems, although it can, if your company resists. People who are in unions typically have higher wages and things like that. You all should unionize your workplaces, okay? Regardless, a lot of companies do anti-union propaganda, obviously, and a lot of companies do it illegally. You're not really supposed to do this. So a lot of it's illegal. There's a lot of stuff around this. I'm not too sure about the laws, but let's see what they say about unions, right? Now, for those who maybe don't know, I'm assuming all of you know what a union is, but the idea here is that you form a union and negotiate. So workers will form a union so that they can negotiate collectively with their employers. So they'll be like, we want higher wages. And if you don't give us higher wages, we'll stop working and we'll go on strike. And then the employer will have to, negotiate with you because they need you to work. Otherwise, they're going to lose a bunch of profits. So unions basically work for the interest of employees to protect them from being abused by their employers. Okay. So, of course, companies don't like that because then they might have to pay people more who are, in a union. All right. So let's see what we have here.
Welcome. We're excited to have you at this training, specifically designed to give you the tools that you need for success when it comes to labor organizing. During this course, we'll cover several important topics, such as our position on unions, associate rights, signs of employee disengagement, and how to identify, escalate, and address associate concerns. We are not anti-union, but we are not neutral either. We will boldly defend our direct relationship with associates as best for the associate.
Oh, I love that. That is a classic. A lot of times companies will present this as, don't let the union get in between you and your employer. You have a direct relationship with us. We have a close personal relationship. And all a union does is get in the way of us having a close personal relationship with you. So you can already hear them starting to say this, right? Well, we value the close personal relationship we have with you, and we don't want anyone getting in the way of that. I agree, Dolly Boy. A lot of unions in the US too, there's a lot of unions that are really in bed with the Democratic Party and who really don't work for employees. They work for the Democrats. There are some newer unions that are much better, but there's a big issue there. All right.
The business, and our shareholders. We do not believe unions are in the best interest of our customers, our shareholders, or most importantly, our associates. Our business model.
Oh, right. Which of those do we think matters the most to them? Do you notice how they were very careful to say, but most importantly, our associates. Yeah, they don't give a shit about the associates. What exactly? Their shareholders. That's all they care about. So, like, okay, that's funny to say that that's what it is that they care about their, that they mainly care about the associates. No, they don't. Okay, it has to do with their shareholders. They don't want a dent in the profits. Oh, I got you, Dolly Boy. Oh, forgive me, Dolly Boy. I misunderstood you. We have Ninjester says we have a close relationship. That's why I'm telling you in person and not having a voice actor say it through a cartoon, right, Ninjester? Yeah, we can't pay our shareholders as much if you unionize. Exactly, right? Which, by the way, isn't even really true. Okay, like you could pay your CEO less, you could charge more. There are, it's not even necessarily true that you'll have to pay the shareholders less. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when a company unionizes, their employees are more productive and profits go up. So, okay.
Model is built upon speed, innovation, and customer obsession. Things that are generally not associated with unions.
Okay, let's break down the propaganda. The business model, they are obsessed with speed, as in work really, really hard until you drop. Okay, until you drop on the floor. By the way, Amazon delivery drivers are well known to have to urinate inside of water bottles and literally poop in plastic bags because they're given such little time to deliver that if they were to stop to use the restroom, it would be docked against them because they might not have enough time to deliver as much. So there have been tons of cases where there are found to be tons of bottles of urine found in Amazon delivery vehicles, literal bags of shit, okay? Because they got to get as much work and labor out of these employees as possible. So the idea that we need speed, of course, it does get in the way maybe of speed, but it definitely diminishes. Yep, take dumps on your own time, slave. Yep, Jonas. So, like, all right, innovation. Let's see what that.
When we lose sight of those critical focus areas, we jeopardize.
I'm not sure what someone maybe help me out here. What do we think they mean by innovation? What do they think they mean by innovation here? I'm not sure. That might mean where they fire people because they're using robotics or AI or something, and unions get in the way of them being able to fire people willy-nilly. So that might be what they mean by innovation here. And then, because I'm not sure, that has nothing to do with like actual innovation. Customer obsession, meaning all that matters is the customer, your own personal survival, happiness and stuff don't matter, okay? So, all right, this is cute.
Jeopardize everyone's job security. We don't badmouth unions in general, but we will speak openly with associates about unions.
We don't badmouth unions? What are you doing right now?
Including any specific concerns about particular unions involved in organizing.
I know, right, Meowser?
And we share our preference for a direct working relationship frequently and boldly, even when no organizing activity has occurred. You will learn about the warnings.
Do you notice that? They just said, because it's illegal for them to be like openly anti-union. They're like, okay, we want to be clear. We're neutral and we're anti-union. So yeah, we're anti-union, but we're neutral about it. What? So...
signs most commonly associated with early union organizing, as well as...
Oh, I'm sorry. What they're actually saying is we're not neutral and we're not anti-union. What? That doesn't make sense. That your drivers should use bedpans so they don't have to slow down when they use the bathroom. Bottles, you have to work harder. That's true, Doug. Jesus. Yeah, ways people. Yeah, absolutely, Mr. King. Innovation is finding new ways to work people to death. Absolutely, Mr. King K. Right?
Other warning signs that could indicate
warning signs of. Okay, this is great.
Associate disengagement, vulnerability to organizing, or early organizing activity. While employees have the right to organize, we have a right and responsibility to share our position that a direct working relationship is better for the customer, the company, and the associate. In order to be able to do that effectively, it is critical that we recognize the early warning signs of potential organizing and escalate concerns promptly. If you see warning signs of potential organizing, notify your building.
Also, just creepy how smiley this avatar they have here is also very poorly designed.
HRM and GM site leader immediately.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, if you do that, you're a traitor. I want to point that out. I hope any employee that reports fellow employees to the bosses for union organizing. Well, I don't want to say anything that'll get me in trouble on here, but not a fan of those people. Let's put it that way. Okay, not a fan of people who report on fellow employees who are trying to union organize. Also very gross that that's what Amazon's trying to get them to do. Yeah, it's like teaching you to scab before we even get to a strike. Yeah, Mad Scene. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Ninjester will take action even when no active attempts to organize are going on. Yep, Ninjester. It was guide for a while. I don't know if you know this, but Walmart's would have a red phone, like a store manager or like the head of a store would have a red phone that would give them direct access to call the corporate headquarters and immediately report if there was union activity. And then Walmart's corporate headquarters would literally send a helicopter out. Maybe not a helicopter, but they would send out a union suppression team immediately to try and crush any attempt at unionizing at any Walmart. And there was literally a direct line for that from Walmart's to headquarters. So they could crush it immediately if it ever happened. Okay?
RMs and GM site leaders should notify their assigned ER managers or ER principal immediately. The most obvious signs would include use of words associated with unions or union-led movements like living wage or...
Yeah, the warning signs of a union are words like living wage. Oh my God, this is too perfect. Oh my God, I'm so glad we watched this. This is too perfect, guys. I love it. Don't you know that talking about living wage? By the way, guys, you do know it is perfectly legal, and you should talk about your wage with fellow employees. We have a weird cultural norm in this country where it's considered bad form to talk about your wages with fellow employees. Who do you think that benefits? Remember cultural materialism, where our cultural ideas come out of our economic system? That's a cultural belief that really benefits the elites and the powerful, okay? We should get rid of it. We should be open about how much we're being paid with our fellow employees. If we don't know how much we're being paid, we won't be able to act collectively to change it, right? So, okay. And by the way, a lot of times companies will tell you don't discuss your wages with fellow employees. That's illegal. They cannot stop you from discussing your wages with fellow employees, okay? So you can do it even if they tell you not to. Now, you know, they're corrupt, so they might find a way to get rid of you, but that technically is illegal. All right? You are allowed to discuss your wages with fellow employees. Right. You've seen plenty of those videos, Ninjester. Oh, so gross. It's a bad scene. It's just a good worker like me. My interests align more with our CEO than my lazy fellow coworker. I'm doing it more for the great mad scene. Hilarious.
Steward. Petitions or other concerted...
Okay, look at these words that they're saying are warnings of a union. Living wage, grievance,
activity,
contract, representation. Because, guys, representation, of course, is bad because that's democratic. And these are authoritarian regimes. Okay? Like, these are corporations are authoritarian, so any kind of representation, any kind of democratization of the workplace is real scary and bad. They don't want that shit, right? So you can't have representation. That is a warning sign. Yep, Mr. King K, right? All right. Correct, LaCroix. HR always has the boss's interest in mind, and that's their priority. Absolutely. HR does not... By the way, just think about the word human resources. It's super dehumanizing. The idea of like your human employees being just resources that can be used. No, they're people. They're people. Okay, it's just funny. I'm surprised companies haven't changed that. Because I suspect by now people are like, that's kind of a weird way of phrasing it. All right.
Purporting to speak on behalf of his or her coworkers when raising concerns.
Group petitions are a warning sign.
Union graffiti, union t-shirts, hats, jackets, or other clothing, union flyers,
yes, Retro
and union
Asher.
visitors in or near the parking lot. Some signs are less...
Really, Jonas? That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah, right, Dolly Boy. Yeah, dehumanize me, Daddy Corporation. Right.
obvious than finding
Correct,
the actual
Megan.
union flyer, but they can still indicate associate disengagement, which is itself a warning sign for potential organizing. Examples include associates who normally aren't connected to each other suddenly hanging out together. Associates who were close suddenly stop speaking.
Okay, guys. I just want to keep emphasizing this fact, right? We do know that. Think about this. I keep trying to tell you all that capitalist enterprises are authoritarian or tyrannical, right? Think about some of the things here. It says here, unusual group behavior. So they're concerned about employees getting together and like talking about things together. Do you remember how in the Bill of Rights, one of the rights we have is free association? And you can like meet together in public. You can group up in public and shit because it's considered authoritarian to try to suppress group activities. That's what they do in companies all the time. That's an authoritarian government tactic. Do not let people get into groups. Suppress it, okay? Because they might work against the powerful, okay? So like these are openly authoritarian measures, but we're perfectly okay with it in the context of a business, right? We have been trained mentally to see the government repression as separate from economic oppression. They're very similar. Notice here, they're trying to suppress your freedom of speech. You don't have that in a workplace. You don't have the freedom to get together in groups, to organize. You don't have the freedom to have representation. All of these are things we supposedly value in a free society, but not within a workplace. Thank you, Matt Saigai. So maybe, guys, we should democratize the workplace, and maybe we should turn our businesses into democracies owned by the employees. Thank you, Matt Saigai, for that. Okay.
To each other. Groups of associates scatter when approached by management. Increased associate negativity, anger, or confrontation. Unusual complaints or change in passion or detail around complaints. Unusual interest in policies, benefits, employee lists, or other company information.
If you're too interested in the policies and shit that are affecting you, you must be trying to organize a union, right?
Or any other associate behavior that is out of character. For example, an associate who normally leaves promptly begins hanging out in the break room for an hour after work each day. In order to recognize warning signs, it is critical that you know what an associate's normal behavior looks like. Often, it is the change in behavior that is the warning sign, more than the actual behavior itself.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So there we go. That's fun. Yeah, I have employers who yell at you for talking while working. Yeah. Like, think about that. Doesn't that sound like a 1984 scenario? You can't even talk because the authority figure will yell at you. No talking, right? You might be plotting against the regime. Like, it sounds like an authoritarian regime, but we're okay with it. We're okay. I mean, we're not okay with it, but as a society, we're okay with that. Even though we spend, how many hours a day in these places? I don't understand how we're able to, okay. And then, of course, they will gaslight us by saying that, yeah, exactly, Drizilla. They will gaslight us to basically make it sound like there's something wrong with us if we don't like that, right? You're lazy. You're not grateful. You know, it's... yes, F1 Addict, I did. The Mandelson arrest. I'm very excited about it. That's great news. All right. The problem is that unions stop the free hand of the market from leading us, right? Jonas, I had an HR meeting for swearing back at my manager for literally shouting, get back on the effing phones. Oh my God. Exactly, Jonas. That's authoritarian. Like, you're a human, that person's a human. They should respect you. And if they don't respect you, why can't you speak back to them? Okay. Oh yeah, F1 Addict for sure. It's a mess. All right. So Love that. Love that. Lots of union crushing activity going on, guys. Lots of union crushing activity going on. Yeah, exactly, Jonas. The audacity of treating people like crap and expecting not getting the same energy back, right? Okay, wow, how privileged to do that. Okay. Ninjester, one of those same employers brought up how we spent more of our waking hours there than at home every time they did a meeting. Yeah, yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right. Some other stuff here, guys. So that's great fun. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Give me a second here. I'm gonna go check. Well, I have another video to watch, but I just want to see what we have over here on Discord real fast in case any new cool reactions to look at or something like that. Let's see here. So that no, Shrek is not a kosher tale. Yeah, that's true, Mr. King K. The Israelis are harvesting the organs of dead Palestinians. I know that sounds gross, but it's true. Any corpses they find that can have organs harvested, they take that shit. Anyway, let's see. Oh. Okay, let's do this one. So another video I found, guys, that I thought would be interesting to look at is the use of oh, I believe him. That'd be cool, Mr. King K. Let me check here, Doug. You said that you mailed me something? Doug, I don't see any messages from... Oh, I see, Doug. I got you. Okay. Yeah, we'll hold off on that one, Doug. I can already tell from the... well, we'll do it a different time. So let's try this one. Here, this is a video about how they are now using, guys, shipping companies are trying to use driverless trucks. Okay? Driverless trucks. So, we will... Yeah, we'll watch that too, Mauser. We'll watch the video about the new dinosaur discovery. I saw that. This is a video about driverless trucks. Now, first of all, there's a few problems here, guys. You do know that the transportation industry employs some of the most people out of any industry in the U.S. It's one of the biggest industries in the United States. Okay, I mean, like transportation, and they're more and more starting to use driverless trucks to go from place to place. And I just thought we could watch this video real fast. Let's see how we feel about driverless autonomous vehicles, big trucks going around. By the way, that will result in a lot of people not having a job anymore because there's driverless trucks everywhere. So let's watch.
So we're here on I-45 in Palmer, Texas, just south of Dallas. We are on the lookout for a new invention that could potentially upend one of the largest industries in America. That invention? A driverless truck.
Driverless semi-trucks are now operating in Texas.
Meowzord. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Meowzord says, at least there's no human immigrant driving it, right? We'd rather have a clanker in there.
Of a huge semi-truck.
Right, Loiso? Jesus.
Service my heart is just palpitating thinking about this.
Aurora Innovation and several of their competitors have been using I-45 as a testing ground to prove a single point. They don't need drivers.
Well, it's going to be a catastrophe.
We are on the verge of a new era in trucking.
I mean, this is truly transformational technology.
And it's coming for your job, too.
Right now he is, Doug. Is he live? Is Pete Hegseth live right now?
Jobs are lost through automation than they are through trade deals.
A robot comes into a factory, workers go
yeah,
away.
LaCroix.
Could soon put together your next grocery order.
Oh my God, guys, we're going to be... the dystopia is... I mean, we're already in a dystopia, but the dystopia is really going to be here. What do we think is going to happen, folks, when, like, there's so much AI run shit out there? What's going to happen to all the people that had those jobs? We're going to get to the point, and you guys know this, where we're going to have a permanent underclass of people who are unemployed. There just won't be enough jobs for everyone to have. Then what are we going to do? It's going to be like a cyberpunk world. And we certainly don't have social programs up to the point that can support a mass number of people who that are permanently unemployed. I don't, If we thought it was dystopian now, it's going to be dystopian even more. Okay, let's put it that way. When we have a society run by very few people, and by AI and shit, and a ton of people are unemployed.
This job's even.
The job you have today ain't going to be here in 10 or 15 years.
The question would be to the company, why do you need everything automated?
So, we came to Texas
Yeah,
to witness the revolution for
ignore
ourselves.
them. Don't
Every
look
load
over the
that
wall.
one of these
Problem
driverless
solved.
trucks take is a load that's being taken away from a driver.
We spent time with truck drivers talking about what this means for them.
I kind of am one of the last of the cowboys. We are truly a dying breed of people.
And find out how ready our roads and our society are for this change.
Have we done a good job of addressing the policy questions
Yay,
that need to
Retro.
be answered in order to successfully develop this?
Yeah, oh my God, Dolly Boy, I love you. That is a perfect. Dolly Boy says, keep watching the shadows on the walls, guys. It's okay. Yep, Plato's the cave. Yep, allegory of the cave, 100%. Retro Asher will enter full dystopia. Poor people will be harvested or enslaved, etc. America's future. Yay, Retro Asher. I love that for us.
To maximize the benefits of it, I think...
I have a kink for being abused by people in power. I love it.
Absolutely not.
This tech is coming. I mean, it's here now. But is there a way to make it work for us instead of against us?
It's all happening right here. Buckle up. We're heading out. So right now we're just parked right across the first transfer hub from Aurora.
Mad Scene, my colleague has a specialist advisor role around using volunteers in the charity sector. Her manager just started asking her to justify why her assessments don't always align with AI as a learning exercise for her. Like, if you are already trusting AI over subject matter experts, despite it being wrong, we are cooked. Yep.
For innovation.
True.
This is where they're going to be launching the driverless trucks out of.
Aurora Innovation was started in 2017 by 3 Silicon Valley heavyweights. Chris Urmson, who previously led Google's self-driving car project that spun off into Waymo. Sterling Anderson, who led the development of the Tesla Autopilot and Model X. And Drew Bagnell, who worked on autonomous innovation at Uber. Aurora does not actually make trucks. They make what's called the Aurora Driver. It's a combination of software, like AI, machine learning, and training simulations, and hardware, like radar, LiDAR, and cameras, that work together to create and inform the Aurora Driver.
The Aurora Driver is going to be essential to our customers. It's going to allow them to build more revenue while having lower costs.
And they are not alone. Companies like Wabi, Plus AI, and Kodiak are all in the race to create driverless trucks.
Actually, that's a good point, Retro Asher. Wouldn't it be nice, guys, if they kept the drivers and then they had this thing so the drivers didn't have to work as hard, but they'd still be driving, or they'd still be in there? That would be great, Retro Asher. Of course, that is just too much money. They would never do that. Isn't that great? I love that.
But Aurora is the big one, and they said they'd be ready to launch by the end of April 2025.
All right, and there she goes. Got drivers in it, which is a little bit unfortunate for us, but it's good for anybody that still needs a job. And we're going to be following it all the way down to Houston.
Yeah, Dolly Boy. So this thing is driving autonomously?
The truck that we're following right now, even though there's a safety driver and a technician in it, the safety driver is basically just holding their hands right next to the wheel in case there's any erratic motion.
Absolutely.
It's still driving itself.
Aurora and other companies have been testing on I-45 in Texas like this for years.
Texas is ground zero for it because they have a really permissive regulatory environment here. And this specific stretch of road is one of the densest
God, I just love Texas. Such a great state.
freight corridors in America. And there's a lot of money to be made here.
And obviously, that money has to come from somewhere.
I'm being sarcastic,
Major changes to these industries will have major impact on
There'll be a
jobs.
massive depletion of truck driving.
Andrew Yang.
Driving for a living is
Mayflower
the single most
kid's
common
favorite.
job for high school educated men in this country.
So is Aurora going to have a driver in the truck of an autonomous vehicle? No, they're not. So they are going to take jobs.
Robert and Chris.
So there we go. The Teamsters. This is why unions are important. The Teamsters trying to fight for the workers. Yay.
With the Teamsters Local 988 representing truckers in Texas. Their union hall is just a few miles from Aurora's terminal in Houston.
So before deregulations, truck driving was considered a very good paying middle class job. You could raise a family on it.
But that's not so true anymore.
Is anyone out there a truck driver?
Open trucking, it was always better before.
The trucking industry has changed to the point where I don't recognize it anymore.
They all felt as though they were betrayed by the government for the Motor Carrier Act.
We actually made a whole video on the Motor Carrier Act of 1980 and just how much it changed these jobs.
And today we're looking at why truckers can't make a living.
The advent of self-driving trucks, in my view, is actually the end point of a long series of technologies that have caused a decline in wages and working conditions.
Steve Viselli has been studying the industry for over a decade.
What that led to was very high turnover. And so those experienced drivers who were used to those good wages and good working conditions said, essentially, hell no. I'm not going to do that. And so this is where the driver
Sorry, guys, I'm just listening to it.
shortage
We have a
narrative
driver
comes
shortage?
from.
Major shortage of truck drivers in the US.
Of truck
Oh, I see. So they're not willing to do it anymore because their wages are down. Okay, that makes
Actually,
sense.
not enough truck
The
drivers.
industry is approaching a breaking point.
Now, there isn't a shortage of truck drivers. We have 3 times the number of folks with a license to drive a truck than the trucks that need to be operated. It's because of this turnover in the industry. In some years, as many people are trained for those jobs as the number of jobs themselves, meaning
Because it's a really hard job, guys. It's also really unhealthy to have to sit in a truck all those hours. It can cause blood clots. It can cause health problems. These guys are really abused. Yeah. And they're like worked to death. Like if they were allowed to stop and walk around more often rather than being on a tight time frame, they might be healthier. It might be a better job. But yeah.
we have almost 100% turnover of people entering the industry and leaving it every year.
But this driver shortage narrative is how Aurora has been justifying its work.
The trucking industry has faced and continues to face a structural challenge with not having access to enough drivers. We're delivering a scalable, stable driver supply.
They're not addressing a shortage because there isn't one. There's never been one. There's a shortage of willingness to invest in people and pay them better.
What they really should be saying is we're going to run the freight for a lot cheaper than it would be to have a meat in the seat driver.
Aurora has made some very serious...
No, you're absolutely right, Retro. I mean, keep in mind, all these AI trucks are still a horrible idea. A single hurricane taking out your power, putting the state in a crisis, that becomes a problem. Suddenly, trucks you don't... Yeah, no, that's really true.
His claims about what their technology, the Aurora driver, can do.
In the U.S. alone, 6,000 people die in accidents with trucks on our freeways. The Aurora driver can drive that number to 0.
Almost certainly. Hello, I am non-real. Yes, I'm like
gonna
90% certain we're going to attack Iran. It might not be. It probably won't be today. It'll probably be by Friday or something like that. But I don't know.
No fatalities through any one of their driverless trucks. I'm willing to bet on that.
Because the Aurora driver has been tested without public oversight or regulation, a lot of their claims...
Oh, is that true? So Jester says it's also not paying the bills anymore. If you own your own truck, all your money goes into the car payment and insurance. That makes sense because you have to own that thing. That's a good point. By the way, guys, please like the stream if you don't mind. I noticed we don't have that many likes on the stream, which might explain why we're not getting that many folks in here today. But please like the stream if you haven't already. I would deeply appreciate it. Okay.
Are hard to prove.
The Aurora driver will change lives.
One thing is clear, though. This is positioned to take jobs.
Human drivers are limited to 11 hours a day. The Aurora driver should be able to almost double that, if not more.
11 hours a day? That's a lot for a human driver. He's saying that human drivers can drive for 11 hours a day? Dear God. These people need more of a break. That's crazy.
There are a lot of types of trucking jobs. One of them is called line haul trucking.
These are some of the best jobs in trucking. These are over-the-road drivers moving from motor carrier terminal to motor carrier terminal.
That's essentially what Aurora is hoping to prove it can
When do they have time to sleep?
do with the Dallas to Houston route.
They've been running...
100% I am non-real. Now, we're not sure I am real if we would put troops on the ground. That's unclear. At the very least, we're probably going to end up bombing Iran, which is horrific. Yeah, it's a horrible crime, of course. The United States would be war criminals, as we always are, et cetera, et cetera. All right. You did 15 yesterday. Insane, Doug. Insane.
That same route for years now. And so that's really how it's going to roll out for these better jobs is those ones that go along a particular lane
Correct,
right, between an origin and destination. Those are going to be the ones that get automated next.
Yeah, Jonas, I agree.
There was a little bit of feeling of accomplishment of getting done purpose.
Yeah, Jonas. So, guys, I know a lot of folks were talking about Iran. I talked about Iran earlier, but yeah, the United States has about 40 to 50% of its air power right now stationed in the Middle East. About the same amount of air power right now is stationed in the Middle East as was stationed in the Middle East right before we went to war with Iraq. Okay? About a third of the American fleet is right now stationed in the Middle East, including 2 carrier groups, which is a ton of firepower. And there's also another issue here of the sunk cost fallacy. Like, we're spending tons of money to have those forces over there, which makes it less likely that we won't use it now that it's there. There's lots of problems here. Now, there was an announcement that the Trump administration and Iran are meeting on Thursday to try and eke out a deal at the last second. If that falls through, though, I expect that we're going to be bombing Iran at some point here. There's going to be an attempt. Um, okay, I got you. I'll call you Wiz. How about that? I'll call you Wiz, which is my book. There is, there's a lot of. I would say right now there's about a 90% chance that we will bomb Iran. There is still a possibility that it won't happen. But it's just the amount of firepower and stuff we have over there. It's all an attempt to intimidate Iran. And if Iran doesn't give in, I am worried that Trump will then take the next step. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Dolly Boy. They tried the same thing with Venezuela. They did all this posturing, and then Venezuela didn't give in, so then they attacked Venezuela. If Iran doesn't give in on Thursday, they might launch a bombardment of Iran or whatever. Okay, and we should also point out, that of course, the United States. It's unlikely to me that the United States would put troops on the ground. It just is. I'm betting my life savings on Polymarket because of your prediction. Don't do that unless. Okay, I hope you know. Can we also point out that the United States would lose miserably if we put troops on the ground? It would be a hilarious and humiliating defeat. It wouldn't be hilarious. It'd be dark and horrible. But, Iran is, 3-4 times the size of Iraq. It's mountainous. It would be an absolute shit show. It would be a comical display of imperial hubris that would result in the death of probably thousands of Americans and definitely thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Iranians. And we would never win the war. It would just be a stupid, evil thing. Yeah, it'd be stupid. Yep. Okay. Yep. Well, so Wizards Bread's books, that would be Afghanistan is called the graveyard of empires, but it would not be an exaggeration to say that Iran is also a graveyard of empires. A lot of that region are graveyards of empires and stuff like that. Okay, is literally swearing in troops as you speak their war, swearing in troops. Oh, I got you, Doug. Okay. So it's, it would be a complete disaster. Also, yeah, it'd be like Afghanistan times 10. For the Americans in here, I am happy that I am as old as I am because, you do know that if we were to put troops on the ground in Iran, I don't see how I don't see how we could do that without there needing to be a eventual draft. Like, you need what 2.1 million troops or something like that to successfully occupy a country the size of Iraq. I mean, of Iran, excuse me. Freudian slip. I don't know how you do that unless you do a draft. But I don't think we will put troops on the ground. Okay, I think it'll just be a massive bombing campaign if we do that. Whatever the case, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a goddamn mess, and I'm horrified. I'm horrified about what's going to happen in the next few days.
I mean, over the years, I've hauled a lot of different freight.
Will Cook is a truck driver. We brought him along with us to see more tests of the Aurora driverless truck.
So Chris Urmson told investors,
I very much look forward to the day when every truck here on I-45 is driven by...
Yeah, no, me too, Malzord. It would be such a destabilizing and big war. I don't see how it wouldn't spill over into a much wider conflict.
Aurora?
What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, where's all these people going to go to work? I mean, look how many trucks we're passing right now. Where are these people
absolutely,
going to go to work?
Squall.
Aurora and their partners, though, claim all of this is actually good for drivers.
We feel like this will help develop a better job, a better career for our drivers.
These line haul...
America has no chance, guys. And I don't really... It's irrelevant, sort of, because it's deeply immoral anyway. Even if America did have a chance, that's beside the point. It's illegal, it's evil, etc. And already American media is kind of tepidly behind it, which is classic in American media. Very propagandistic, manufacturing consent. I told you today how I read an article in the New York Times that was saying that if we went to war with Iran, Iran would trigger Al-Qaeda to start attacking the United States. A hilarious thing to say, given that Al-Qaeda hates Iran and Iran hates Al-Qaeda. But even the American media, they're not fully supporting, but they're not pushing back at all. It's better than they were during the Iraq War, but it's still, they're not pushing back. If anything, they're like, it's a win-win. Take out Iran. Yeah, oh, for sure. I can imagine, me too. Imagine inbred-looking moron Faraj acting like it's a necessity. Yeah, it's like, aren't we excited about this, Iran, this war? Yeah, oh, I have. I am not unreal. I have seen the Macron messages. So, it's not going to be good, guys, the war with Iran. Have we, by the way, I know we're watching this, but it looks like people want to talk about Iran. Give me a second here. Do we have any more news about it? Has anything come out I just wanted to make sure because I am waiting like for any moment this to start. And admittedly, I think it'll happen after Thursday because apparently they're going to have a meeting on Thursday. But it could happen really at any point. All right. I think it is not going to happen. That's fair. That is fair. Copying into the account to like the stream. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Retro Asher there. See here. Have you seen this? Have we covered the Mexico incident? Barely. We talked about it a little bit, guys. They need the week to set up their insider trades. That's for sure, Meowzord, okay? Won at war before the State of the Union. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking, Doug, is that he's probably going to wait till after the State of the Union. And also, like I said, they're meeting on Thursday. So if we believe that. So we'll see. He did say that it would be, he would make a decision within 10 days. And that was like, what, 4 days ago? So we have a few days left. All right. I'm trying to see here. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. All right. So that'll be terrible. You're right, Jonas. Well, Bush gave Mullah Omar 48 hours to give up bin Laden and attacked in 40. Yeah, that's for sure, Jonas. Right? I'm in London and meant to be traveling to Mexico for a wedding on Friday. I hope it's not impacted, but I have no idea. I don't know, Matsy. That's a good question. You do never know with these morons. They could start tomorrow, right? It could start any minute. Like, you have to understand, too, guys, when it comes to war, you're often not going to attack when you say you're going to attack, obviously. You want to try to hide the intentions. So it might be that that's all a lie and that Trump's going to go to war anyway. We also need to consider the fact that Trump wants a distraction right now because of the Epstein files. So there are lots of reasons why he might want to attack. They might not attack, but, it's certainly, we have so many forces over there. This is, okay, let me point out, too. We do know, guys, that there has never been this this large of a buildup of military forces by the United States without an attack of some sort. Okay, so that's why I'm putting it at like 90%. Just historically, if you have these many forces built up in one place at one time, every time that's happened historically, there's been some sort of attack that's taken place. Okay, whether it be a bombing run or whatever. Now, Trump can be unusual, so he might break that mold, but that's why I have it at 90%. I'm saying that historically, to have like 30% of your Navy and 40 to 50% of your overseas capacity for aircraft capacity over there, that's a super expensive investment, or a lot of money to spend just to put a show of force up there. Okay. You could do a show of force with just one aircraft carrier. All right. Yeah. And now, again, though, I could be wrong. It's very possible that this is the first time that we don't use it as an attack. But okay. There you go, Paul. You know it, Paul Squall. You know it very well. Okay. I am not unreal. Russia and China are not helping Iran as much. That's for sure. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Almost certainly. Certainly there. Who was that? Just lost it. I am not unreal. Yep. All right. By the way, for those that don't like China, okay, it also would be really good for China if we went to war with Iran, by the way. Like, I don't really care about this, but, China would just be able to, like, they'd be able to pull, like, a NATO in Ukraine type thing where they supply under the radar supplies to Iran to help bleed the United States as we do a war of occupation in their country, which would be great. Yeah, exactly, Jonas. So, like, hey, China might take advantage of that shit. They wouldn't get directly involved, neither would Russia, but okay, there's also enough war gooners around Trump edging for war, and it's enough to sway him to give him a climate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pete Hegseth, all these bloodthirsty maniacs around him. You're right, Paul Squad. China probably would fight America down to the last Persian. So, okay. All right. I'm at scene San Miguel de Allende. I don't know enough about Mexico to really grasp what the spread of the impacts could be. Yeah, that's also happening, guys. We talked about it earlier, but in Mexico, the cartels have launched a massive retaliatory campaign after Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, successfully, I guess, killed a leader of a top drug cartel, and they are retaliating. Okay. All right. I am not unreal. Taiwan is part of China. Laughing my ass off. They only disagree about which government, though. I'm not sure what you mean, I am not unreal. That's... You mean in name they're part of China? Because in practicality, no, they're not part of China. They have a separate government. They are not connected. I mean, they are like independent country that kind of assuages China by claiming to also be China, but they are a separate country by every metric I can think of, except for some, I mean, culturally and things like that, there's similarities, but they are not part of China. Now, China claims that Taiwan is, um, uh, yes, they both recognize it, but you know, that's just recognition. I am not unreal. In practice, they're not. They are not the same country. Yeah. So that's sort of a way to appease China by doing that recognition. Yeah. All right. Yeah, vibes-based China, right? And now, is that to say, like, I think the people of Taiwan should be able to just decide their own fate. Okay, if they want to be part of China, go ahead. I don't care. If they don't want to be part of China, go ahead. You can be independent. I don't give a shit. They can decide, but I don't think the United States should keep getting involved in all that shit. Okay. In practice, yes, but the People's Republic of China won't attack the Republic of China over Taiwan. Okay, well, so that, I mean, it's possible. I am not unreal, but you do know that Xi Jinping himself has said multiple times that Taiwan will be theirs. I think he said it by the end of the decade. He has openly said that, and there have been a lot of posturing. They do tons of military drills and stuff in the waters outside of Taiwan. There's been a lot of posturing of a military intervention into Taiwan by China. Does that mean that they will do it? No, but he has openly, yeah, he said by 2027 that they would have Taiwan, and if Taiwan doesn't look like they're going to join China willingly, so how else would they do that? I don't know. It would have to be violent. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh God. All right. Anyway, so I am not unreal. I'm not listening to propaganda. I don't know what you mean. What would be the purpose of that? I mean, the purpose of that propaganda would be for me to militate against China and to say that the United States needs to protect Taiwan. I don't give a shit. I don't want us to get involved if that happens. But it is true, though, that China has been militant against Taiwan and has done military maneuvers in the waters outside of Taiwan and things like that. And Xi Jinping himself has said that he wants it by 2027. So China is a government. It's not perfect. All right. It has ambitions. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so moving on here. So let's go on here. Fair, Dolly boy. Fine. Okay, I getting caught up in it. Let's move on here. So what was I going to say? Oh, yes. So that's Iran. We have Iran coming up. Also, Cuba is being embargoed. We mentioned that their healthcare system is about to fail because of the American embargo. You know, just a silly little war crime, a silly little crime against humanity that the United States is doing. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Silly little crime against humanity. Okay. So that's good. So that's that happening too. So there, we all good with the international news? I did it earlier, but I'm just repeating it since there were more people in here and people were asking about it. Everyone good now? Okay. Okay. So No, it's okay, Dolly Boy. I forgive you. I should not get into it. Okay. All right. So let us. What else we got here, guys? Let me see here. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah, we have. You're right, Jonas. We've been screwing them since your mom was a kid, vibing David Bowie. Yep. Poor Cuba. The poor people of Cuba. All right. All right. Let me see what else we got here to do, folks. All right. Hmm. Um. Okay, let's do this one. So this was sent from Meowzord. You know, someone did something. I'm sorry, I heard a little thing go off. Did someone join? Welcome for whoever may have followed me. Okay. So Meowzord sent this. There is paleontologists have made a new discovery. Okay, a new discovery. All right. And this discovery is that they discovered a new dinosaur, which I thought is cool. Okay, so let's watch this discovery of a new dinosaur that they found in the Sahara Desert. Yay! This will be sort of a palate cleanser. Gotta love dinosaurs. Yeah, a new dinosaur just dropped. All right.
Made a spine-tingling find in the sands of the Sahara Desert. A new species of dinosaur. Now, they've unearthed fossils of a supersized carnivore that lived over 95 million years ago. The team now naming it Spinosaurus mirabilis, Latin for astonishing. The discovery raising as many questions as answers about prehistoric life. And to answer some of those questions, I'm joined by Dr. Paul Serino, paleontologist.
What do you mean Minuteman is a frog? Frog. How dare you, Jonas? I get you're joking. Okay.
At the University of Chicago and a national...
By the way, guys, fun note here. One of the reasons why so many prehistoric people believed in dragons and why so many civilizations have idea of dragons is because they would find these fossils. Like, it's one of those weird cultural universals that a lot of civilizations believe in dragons. Europeans did, Chinese people did, people in the New World did, because they would come across dragon bones, dinosaur bones, and they'd be like, oh my god, it looks like a giant lizard. Okay, it looks like a giant lizard, probably breathed fire. Okay, so that's fun. Lacroix, 95 million years ago, how is that possible? The world is only 6,000 years old. Right. Lacroix, how dare you? Okay. By the way, same thing with mammoths. You know, like woolly mammoths, they had these big goddamn skulls with a big hole in the center of them. Let me show you. Okay, so like woolly mammoth skulls. Hello, Louise. Welcome back. Woolly mammoth skulls. Okay, so like, well, yeah, they would be found looking something like this with like a big hole, like in the center. You see that? And so a lot of times, the idea of a cyclops probably came from this. You know, you find this big skull with a big hole in the center, and it looks like there was a creature there that had one big eye, okay? Which then, okay, well, there must have been a cyclops. There must have been this one-eyed creature walking around. All right. Yeah. So it's just interesting. It's kind of cool how a lot of these myths and stuff come from, you know, the best guesses of people from back then.
Geographic explorer, Dr. Serino, it is a pleasure to have you. Okay, now you called this the expedition of the century. What made this find so special?
Well, it was an extraordinary expedition. Took a big chance to try and get into the heart of the Sahara by collecting together 20 young people that could take 3 months of their life.
No, a mad scene. It's not a common origin. Okay, it's not a common origin because they each discovered this. They each discovered this separately. So then they came up with different ideas of what this creature might have been. This, by the way, and I will say though, admittedly, a mad scene. This is just a theory. We don't really know, but that's one of the theory. Okay.
Off. and put together a big armed guard, sort of like our Wild West, and go into the middle of.
Oh no, I am not. I am not unreal. You don't have to apologize to me. You know, I love talking about these things with folks. Okay, I know I get frustrated and shit, but you're fine. I am not real. I appreciate your pushback. Okay, and yeah, you're right. There is a lot of Western propaganda out there about China and Taiwan and shit. Okay. And you're right. And the Western media has been screaming for years. They're gonna take it now. They're gonna take it now. They're gonna take it now, and they never have. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, you're totally right about that.
Nowhere, in the hopes of finding something, and we were guaranteed nothing except that we had been to the site, found a tooth and a couple of jaw fragments, and hours after we arrived, we found that what you're looking at is the crest on the top of the skull of this Spinosaur, and we knew we had a Spinosaur. We didn't know if we'd find a lot more of it, but we did.
Wow!
Yeah, it was immediately apparent to us this was a new species because the crest is like nothing we've seen before on any predatory dinosaur.
So tell us more about this Spinosaur. I got to know, what exactly do we know right now?
Yeah, it's become, through Jurassic Park, it's become the celebrated dinosaur because we don't have any in North America. But in other parts around the old Mediterranean Ocean, which we used to call it Tethys Ocean, these dinosaurs stalked, and now we're finding in the rivers inland stalked fish, and we were able to ferret out some of the great fish catching abilities of this animal by looking at its jaws. And it was we call it a hell heron because I think it was wading into the waters, scaring any kind of.
Yeah, guys, so real fast here. I know we're okay. You guys are 100% correct. Taiwan and China are both very economically integrated. All right, absolutely. And one of the reasons I say what I say is because I think China's making a mistake, and that by posturing like they want to invade Taiwan. Because if you posture, which is what Xi Jinping has been doing, okay, he keeps making comments like, we'll have it back by 2027, and they keep doing all these military exercises around Taiwan and shit, trying to posture, and I get why they're doing it, because the American empire is threatening China from Taiwan, okay? We keep supplying Taiwan with all these weapons. We have all these defensive structures there, which is a threat to mainland China, okay? So China kind of has to posture. But the problem with that, of course, is that it's sometimes hard to tell the difference between posturing and actual aggressive intent. And it's a cycle that is kind of hard to solve, right? Anyway.
Competitors away, and very much a display-oriented animal, but capable of just snatching a lot of large fish out of the riverways and the coastal region. And it's like nothing we've ever seen before. It's the size of T-Rex. It's 40 feet long.
Wow, it's huge. Now, this Spinosaur, it differs from some of the other ones you actually studied. So what sets this one apart?
Yeah, I'll just say, this is what they share. They share this kind of tooth that is straight, curved, no serrations. Looks very different than a T-Rex tooth. The original clues to this site I dug out of the library. A French monograph, you see my middle markings there, gave us a.
Yeah, no, Meowzord, you're right. Okay, Meowzord says, Sam, consider the Chinese. Yeah, you're right, Meowzord. Consider the Chinese culture of respecting your elders at all cost. I do think there's a cultural posturing that lingers with old folks. Yeah, I agree. And I don't know enough about that, Meowzord, to say that for sure. I also think there's an idea of China had a century of were humiliated during the Ming Dynasty. There's a lot of talk in China about how China was humiliated by European colonists and imperialism. There was the Opium War and stuff. And there's this idea of we need to prevent Chinese humiliation and destruction by the West at all costs. So they feel that they understandably feel sort of humiliated and threatened by clear American imperialism right near their borders in Taiwan. So they're going to posture to give an idea of strength and that we're not just giving in to this American imperialism, right? So I don't fully blame them for it. But I can understand, though, why a lot of folks in the world, it's hard to tell the difference between posturing. Like, think about Putin, right? A lot of people thought he was posturing, and then he launched an invasion of Ukraine. So it's hard to tell the difference sometimes. But I don't really know how to solve that problem.
Sentence or two about a tooth they found in the center of the Sahara. But then
I know,
put
Alyssa.
together the pieces of the dinosaur. As I walk behind it, it gives you a better idea.
Oh my God, look at the size of this goddamn thing. Oh my God, look at this shit. Jesus Christ, I kind of want. I want one. I want one. I want one. I want one as a pet.
Its teeth interlock, the lower ones coming outside the upper ones to snare a slippery fish. If you ever tried to catch a fish with your hands, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is a fishing adaptation only this dinosaur, Spinosaurus, has. But this is what defines the species, the very low snout, and then this incredible crest that extends into the air with a covering, and I'm going to give you just a shot of the covering
It is like a dragon.
reconstructed for it. That's the crest right there. Wow. It would have a covering like a live animal.
Me too, Alyssa.
Keratin that would extend it a little bit further. It's about 2 feet overall. And so that gives us a couple of clues about this dinosaur, one of which is that it's a land animal. It's inhabiting the margins of oceans, the margins of riverways. It is not a diving marine Loch Ness monster.
Look at that thing. By the way, probably, guys, it had feathers. I know they're not showing it like that, but we do know that there are a lot of dinosaurs we now know had feathers. I gotta tell you, I know it might ruin it for some of you, but like the T-Rex probably had feathers. Velociraptors had feathers. There were feathers. Okay, feathers everywhere. Dinosaurs had feathers. A lot of them had feathers, and a lot of times they're not presented as having feathers. Okay. All right. So, a lot of feathers. Okay, and so just to ruin it for you guys, you know, a lot of dinosaurs did have feathers. This guy probably did have feathers too.
I proposed, this is sort of the coup de grace for that idea. This animal,
Oh, Jonas, you're not wrong.
well, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near if I was near the shore or on land. It could probably grab anything. It had unbelievable
Louise, don't laugh at Jonas. How dare you?
hands with claws.
Oh, he had. You see that? Oh, he had big hands. We know what they say about big hands. All right.
But it was primarily adapted in a way we've never seen for eating fish. And they were big fish. We're actually going to name a 12-foot super.
I am, Alyssa. I am the dino expert, okay? Yeah, you're right, Wiz, excuse me. Okay.
Fish that we found not far from the dinosaur.
I mean, just to see the teeth as big as your palm is just startling to imagine how big this dinosaur, how big this dinosaur really was. Now, do you think you'll find more dinosaurs in more remote regions, or do you think this is a one-off find?
No, so for your listeners, I mean, first of all, we're in the age of discovery. We're naming more dinosaurs now than we've ever named before. So
maybe Blue Dream. Do you think that's what I meant? Blue Dream was big gloves. I don't know.
They're going to be in the heyday of dinosaur
research.
The
Archaea top tricks. I cannot pronounce it. Are really cool, like the flying ones. Yeah.
Tell you, we're going to find
Mayflower
more.
Kid. You're losing it. Shut up, Mayflower Kid. Quiet, piggy.
We are going to name a lot more from that site.
I don't blame you, Wizard.
There are digging raptors you've never seen. There are crocodiles and all sorts of creatures that we have already found in the 50 tons we took from Africa on that legendary expedition.
Archaeopteryx. There you go, Retro.
So there's a lot more coming. In fact, it really is.
Oh God, I'm such a dirty mind. He just said there's a lot more coming. I'm like, I bet there is with hands that big. Okay, sorry. I'll stop. Someone started this. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done making the comments.
A lost world we're going to describe. We've known about T-Rex, Triceratops, the duckbills for a century here in North America because we have excellent beds and because people have been going there for more than a century. We went to the center of the Sahara and found Africa's lost world. It is the last continent you're going to be able to describe immense creatures by the dozen to give us some idea of what was inhabiting that world.
Wow, we cannot wait and see the discoveries you, your team, and other paleontologists around the world uncover for all of us.
That is so cool. I love dinosaurs. They're very cool. You know what? Just turn it off. How dare you, Alyssa? Do you think this guy probably does? Yeah, I think so. Give me a second, guys. I just got to do something real fast. Give me 1 second. I'm not like fully leaving. All right, guys, let's see what we got here. Forgive me. When they find my bones, they will think it's a new species because of how big my ding dong is. I'm afraid, but there's no bones. There's no bones in your ding dong. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, Blue Dream. That doesn't make sense at all. That's okay though. Let's see here. I'm not. They took cricket noise and slowly reverberated. That's so interesting. Pipsqueakosaurus. uh, exactly, Retro Asher. It wouldn't leave a bone. That's okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I know it was a throwaway comment, but I want to come back to it as the idea that dinosaurs' fossils bones were dragons. What a mad scene? No, I'm saying that. Well, this is irrelevant, mad scene. These are there is no this is a theory. There's a theory out there that states that a lot of ancient peoples may have mistaken. You know what? Let me give you an example, mad scene. In China, for many, many years, they would sell what they called dragon bones. If you want evidence of what I'm saying here, Madsine. So Madsine says, I know this was a throwaway comment, but I want to come back to it as the idea that dinosaurs, fossils / bones were dragons is an argument put forward by a lot of creationists. No. Okay. I'm not, because they're not actually dragons, right? It is a case of mistaken identity. Okay. It is a case of mistaken identity, but I don't think it's true. We have dinosaur bones that were kept from medieval periods. So Madsine, okay. That were kept from the medieval period. Okay, good. So that's one place in the world, a mad scene. That's one place in the world, a mad scene. You're talking about Europe. Let me give you another example here. Dragon bones, China. All right. So these are in China. It has been used in a lot of Chinese medicine. They called it dragon bones, and it's ground up dinosaur bones that they find, and bones from dead species or fossils that they grind into a powder and they sell it as dragon bones. Okay, so that they're called longu, fossilized remains of prehistoric animals, primarily dinosaurs and ancient mammals, often unearthed in rural areas. These fossils, sometimes spanning over 60 feet, have been used for centuries in traditional medicine or misidentified as mythological creatures. So we have a direct correlation here that they are using fossils and calling them dragons, okay? That's one example. There are many other examples. Now, we cannot prove it in every case, but that is one theory, that ancient peoples would discover dinosaur bones, dinosaur fossils, or the fossils of other mammals, and they would interpret it as that stuff, okay? Or for example, once in a while, like a giant squid might be beached upon a shore somewhere, or a big whale, and then ancient peoples, even more modern day peoples, would be thinking, oh, there are sea monsters out there. There are sea monsters in the ocean. There are sea monsters out there, okay? So this has nothing to do with creationism at all. Okay. The creationists, they say that because they believe that dragons actually existed, and that they believe that, because they're stupid and they think that God just left the dragons off the boat. Okay. Now, again, guys, these in anthropology, or at least, I'm sorry, in paleontology and in anthropology, this is a theory, but we have some amount of evidence on it. And if you look at Chinese culture, the origins of that, other cultures, etc., you can see some of that evidence. All right. But that's just one theory, okay? Obviously, it's not something we can be 100% sure of in every case. All right. There are you're right, Blue Dream. There are sea monsters. The ocean is crazy, all right? Okay, you guys. So all right. Let's see what else we got here, guys. So that was a good one. Thank you, Mauser, for sending that. How's everyone doing out there? How is everyone doing out there? Everyone doing well? Everyone doing well. All right. What else do we got? All right. Excuse me. What? Shrek is not a cautionary tale?
People are calling Shrek.
Well, maybe we'll do that later. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's find something else to look at here. All right. Wizard, I love that. I thought the sea monsters died when that silly little sub visiting the Titanic got smushed. Oh my god, I love that story. That's a story that makes me happy. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let me see here. I got some other things we could watch here. Finding this now playlist. Let's go over here. Okay. This is just a little fun thing to look at here.
English language was
just a little fun thing to watch here. This is just a cute little joke about the English language. Cute little joke about the English language. Hopefully I won't get copyrighted on it. I know, Sylvie, it's insane. We talked about it earlier, actually. So here we got, this is just a joke about English. Now, this guy, I think, is an English, who's Michael McIntyre? Is he an English guy? Is he an English comedian? He did this bit about the English language. So we all know that in the English language, there's a lot of silent letters. A lot of silent letters, all right? A lot of silent letters. And, yeah, so, okay. Silent letters. Now, which is kind of makes it hard to know English if you're learning it because you not always sure what letters to pronounce or not pronounce. So here's a little comedy sketch about probably Wiz, right? A little comedy sketch about you know, how the English language would sound if silent letters weren't silent, okay? So let's listen to what he has to say.
Created by English people. I don't know when, but we decided to get letters to form words so we can communicate, but we also decided to sprinkle, for no apparent reason, letters within these words that are silent forever. Why?
Okay, 1 second. I'm going to pause it just so I don't get some copyright.
Why? Like the word hour, for example. Why is the word hour spelt with an H? Why is there an H? The silent H. Nobody has ever said, I'll see you in an hour. I'll see you in an hour. I'm just going to pick up the sandwich. I'll be back in a hour. Half a hour. Even half has an L in it. It's like half a hour. How long is the journey? About half a hour to a hour. The sandwich shop is half a hour away. It's a waste of everybody's time. The word subtle. Would anybody object if it was spelled S-U-T-L-E? Not a single person would.
It's true, though. God, I had to teach people English as a second language when I was a teacher, and oh my God, it's really hard to teach English as a second language when you have all these silent letters and stuff.
But there's a B in the middle going,
yeah, Jonas.
Just ignore me. Just ignore me forever. I'm silent. I've been left here, left behind. I don't know, I was destined for another word, baboon, but here I am with you. How I long to be in the word baboon where I have...
Yeah, subtle, like the word subtle is what? Subtle?
Have a purpose. Like all those words that should begin with N, but have a K of all the letters. Why would a K be silent? Knickers. Why is it knuckles? Knuckles. So I've been thinking about this, as you can probably tell, and I think we should have a day. We should have a day. Silent letter day. Where they all come out to play. It would be on a Wednesday. A Wednesday. Sometime in the autumn.
I've never got the N at the end of autumn. Never understood that shit.
Autumn. Could be in February. I haven't done this all day. Could be in February or the autumn. And we will spend the day together, families together, talking. Walking, we'll go for walks and climbing. Knitting, a lot of knitting. People will save up their knitting to do on Silent Letter Day.
Yeah, Sylvia, I blame the French also. All these weird, random, consonants that don't need to be there.
Knife is the only cutlery that you're allowed to use, the knife. No other cutlery is allowed on Silent Letter Day. Food is buffet style. You go along with your knife. There's salmon and swordfish and sandwiches and yogurt,
yeah.
Yogurt.
Well, anyone in here who learned English as a second language, was it hard to get all the silent letters and to understand those words? I'm just curious. I know I had some students that found it difficult. Not every student did, but
You use your knife.
yeah, I got you. I am not Unreal. Okay. Hey, it's okay, Unreal, to say them in an anglicized way. That's just how languages work. I get it, okay?
All the flavors are very subtle flavors.
Correct, Wiz. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
And the gnome. Will be the symbol of Silent Letter Day. Like Father Christmas. At Christmas, the gnome. Everybody gives each other a gnome to celebrate. Happy Silent Letter Day. I got you a gnome. I've kept it hidden in the cupboard for months.
I think the people from the UK pronounce cupboard differently, don't you? Maybe you don't. Maybe you pronounce it cupboard. But here it's, the cupboard. But I don't know if... Do you guys pronounce it the same way?
Wrapped it up. Do you like it? I wrapped it up. I cut the wrapping paper with skizzers. I use skizzers to cut the wrapping paper.
I don't blame you, Silver, right?
I'm so sorry, I forgot. I didn't realise. Is it really Silent Letter Day? Is it honestly Silent Letter Day? You mean honestly? Yes, it is honestly. You should have known.
Cupboard. Oh, I got you.
You'll never listen.
What's your first language? I am not Unreal.
I'm not giving you a gnome. I'm sorry. I'm taking it back to the shop. I've kept the receipt.
Gotcha. I'm not Unreal. Okay, cool.
And at the end.
Well, what's your first language though? Which specific language from India? Because there are multiple. I'm sure you know that, but gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
And at the end of the day, we will celebrate with champagne. Can I have you some champagne? Happy Silent Letter Day.
Guys, when I was a bartender, there would be people who would ask for champagne. They would literally say champagne. Okay?
Just a drop. Maybe just a splash. Oh, there's a knock at the door. Who could that be? Oh, it's Chloe and Isla. Sorry, Chloe and Isla. My old friends from school. Fascinating. Grab a knife. Help yourself to lasagna. There's some lasagna. And at the end of the day, when we are knackered, we go to sleep at 1/2
Okay, that's good. Okay, yeah, English is kind of messed up in that way. Very much messed up in that way. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. What did you send me here, Malzord? This is a live
split-level decisions. It was the result of a conscious, purposeful,
shadow
deliberate
hearing? What is this
policy.
shit? Yeah, Bologna, right? Alyssa Bologna. Is this so? This is a hearing on ICE stuff.
Scare everyone. DHS assures the public these cadets can get the job training on compensate for anything missing.
No, Philly cheese, I haven't. You should send a video of it to me on Discord. By the way, guys, join our Discord if you haven't already. How dare you, Mayflower Kid? Join our Discord if you haven't already. It's linked at the top of the chat, both on jalapenos. Okay, it's funny. The top of the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat. Please join our Discord. We have a fast-growing community on there. You can suggest things for me to react to, etc.
At the academy. This is a lie. Many graduates go to their home office just long enough to get their gun,
I want to see what this is about.
their badge, and their body armor before deploying to places like Minneapolis and other ICE operations with minimal supervision. It's shocking that anyone would think this is safe or responsible. And this pattern of lies is not isolated.
Yeah, Meowser. You're from China, Chinese, Australia, Australian, Holland, Dutch. Well, technically, Meowser, it's the Netherlands, right? Because Holland is only a province in the Netherlands, okay? Holland, this is a nerdy point. I don't mean to be like, actually, but this is an interesting point, guys. That it's okay to say Holland, but just to be clear here, the Netherlands, all right, let me show you this. So here you have the Netherlands, right? Holland is a particular part of the Netherlands, right? Oh God, where'd it go? Yeah, no, you're totally right, Meowzord. But I'm just saying this. Oh, God damn it, where'd it go? What did I just do? I just broke something. Okay. This is just something I've noticed people do, and it's not your fault. It's just let me do a little teaching as what did I just do here? The Netherlands. Give me a map of the Netherlands. Okay. Holland is here. Okay, so there's North Holland, which is if you guys can see it here, which is actually a province or a part of the Jesus Christ. Okay, a part of the Netherlands. What do I keep doing wrong here that it keeps doing this? I don't know. Get it? Okay, is a province of the Netherlands, and this area right here is actually Holland. Okay, this like center area. So it's called the Netherlands or the Batavian Republic. You could say that too. But Holland itself is sort of one particular province. So it's not really interchangeable. Just something to think about, okay? It doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm just saying, it's just something I've heard a lot of folks say. And it doesn't really matter. It's interchangeable for many people. Okay. But that's just a region, okay? Hey, you don't have to, Meowser. I'm not trying to correct you. It's just something interesting that, like, I've always thought was interesting. It doesn't matter. Like, people, it's one of those things that's technically interchangeable, and and people interchange it all the time. But it is it's something that I don't know why. And like even people from the Netherlands say it. Will sometimes say that. I don't know. It's just something interesting. I really don't care, but. All right. Anyway, yeah. Okay, just a fun fact. Casual big noses. What do you mean, Mr. One? But hello, Mr. One Boston. You should change rename the channel to Casual Big Noses. What the hell does that mean, Mr. Boston? Okay, Deutsche Hund. Okay. All right. Masshole. What did I? Yeah. What? Okay. Right. Hello, Mr. One Boston. What do you mean by a big nose? How dare you? Okay. Okay. All right, what the hell was I about to do? I can't even remember now. Oh, yes. Okay, let's see what else we got here, folks. So just a fun fact. Holland is a region, and then you got the other shit. All right, let's watch this. Why not?
Hey.
Oh, I don't know if I want to watch this. Are we in the mood to watch a video called ISIS? Oh, God, I don't know. Let's not watch this right now. This one is called ISIS Cruelty Goes So Much Deeper Than You Think, and it's about how they treat people's animals. I don't think I can watch this right now. We'll watch it at some other time. I'd rather not watch little cute puppies and animals get harmed. Okay. Doesn't sound good to me. All right. Oh, Bloomtree. That's very possible. It might be. It might actually be. Okay, Mr. One Boston, would you please clarify your comment? Because that's a fair point, Blue Dream. Okay.
Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you, and thank
Let's
my
just watch
colleagues
this for a little bit
this
here.
important hearing today. And I will say I've repeatedly challenged my Republican colleagues that if you believe in the Constitution, then you believe in the First Amendment right to assemble. If you believe in people's liberties, if you believe in the Constitution, then you don't go after people for having a legal permit to carry like they did to Alex Preddy. Then you believe in the Second Amendment. If you believe in the Constitution, then you believe in the Fifth Amendment, right to due process. And if you believe in the Constitution, you believe in the Fourth Amendment right against search and seizure, which is the major part of this hearing that we're talking about today. And I would start with you, Mr. Vanel.
I agree,
Thank
Paul
you so
Squall.
much for coming forward.
That's true.
You noted that the DHS legal training material.
Okay, I don't need to hear. I'm sorry, I can't stand her. I don't want to listen to Amy Klobuchar. What's this shit? Night shift. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff here, Meowzord. We could do this real fast. This is actually a good idea. Let's watch this real fast. It tells you whom benefits. I'll give you a hint. It's not the people. Mr. One Boston. Okay, Mr. One Boston. It tells you whom benefits. That sounds like anti-Semitism to me, Mr. Boston. That does sound like anti-Semitism to me. Anyway, you don't know history, do you, boy? We never got paid for the Revolutionary War. What are you talking about, Mr. I don't know what's going on, Mr. Boston. Okay. All right, let's watch this. This will be whale hunting was absolutely crazy. It'll be kind of fun to watch. My brain is kind of dying off, folks, so it might get off here soon because I have been streaming for almost 5 hours, but let's watch this real fast. This is just to be fun. Yeah.
There she blows! Over there!
The scream cuts through the salty air as your ship transforms into a war machine.
Yeah, look.
3 fragile boats are lowered into the waves, each packed with 6 men. You're on a hunt, and your sweaty hands clench the harpoon. An enormous shadow bursts through the waves. It rises above you and comes crashing down towards the boat. But you're not hunting for food. You're risking your life for a liquid treasure worth $200,000. Whale oil, trapped inside the largest animals to ever live. Ancient sea masters. Nobody really knows how humans first got the idea of battling whales. Probably ancient coastal people stumbled upon whales stranded ashore. To them, these titans were rare treasure chests overflowing with meat to eat and bones to craft into tools. Refusing to leave such fortune.
Whales are useful for a lot of shit. Killing whales is very useful for a lot of shit. That's a horrible thing to say, but they are. They have like good. You can use their blubber to light, like, well, you can use it for oil to light, lamp, like to use as oil to burn things and shit. Okay.
To chance, they paddled out and tried their luck. Towards the 8th century, whaling turns commercial. Along the Bay of Biscay, the Basques build stone watchtowers. The moment a dark shape breaks the surface, signal fires blaze and drums thunder across the coast.
All right, give me a second here, Mr. One Boston. Okay, guys, we're doing a brief investigation. Okay. Give me a second here. I know who that is, by the way, Mr. Boston. I just want to double check that I'm right about who you're referencing. Smedley Butler. All right. Fighting Marine Corps Major General. Yeah, what about him? You're right. He tried to overthrow. You're right. He did try to overthrow the American government. That's what I recall. So, guys, Smedley P. Butler was a general who plotted with other generals to overthrow FDR during something called the Business Plot. So, if you're referring there to this guy, he was definitely an elite, and a horrible elite, who thought that we should overthrow the American government when it got too socialist for him. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Forgive me, folks. I got distracted there for a second. All right.
Men shove small boats into the waves, armed with hand-thrown harpoons. Their target is the North Atlantic right whale, an 18-meter and 90-ton gentle giant who's gloriously slow and prefers coastal waters. While most whales sink when they die, right whales stay afloat.
Right whales.
The right whale to hunt. Their massive mouths contain hundreds of baleen plates, bristly sieves made from keratin. It's the plastic of its time, shapeable into anything from baskets to corset stays and armor. The expensive meat makes up a third of a whale's weight, while half of it is blubber, a thick, oily shield that hides the real prize. When heated, the blubber can be rendered into precious whale oil. It's the Swiss Army knife of early industry.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It lubricates
Okay,
machinery.
guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm distracted here, but you're right. He was not. The guy was. He actually reported that there was a business plot. He didn't necessarily participate in it. Okay, I know. I'm sorry. I'm having a history nerd moment. Seeing that name reminded me of the business plot. He wasn't part of it. He reported on it and explained it and brought it to light. Okay. All right. Moving on. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit distracted by the history talk. Moving on.
Waterproof ships when mixed with tar and helps make soap and paint. But most importantly, whale oil burns brighter and cleaner than anything else available at the time. The Basques turn whaling into a finely tuned enterprise. They improve equipment, perfect the art of processing whales, and flood Europe with whale products, while other nations watch with envy. By the 17th century, the English and Dutch launched their own whaling fleets. They hire Basque consultants, and soon the secrets of whale hunting.
Yeah, I wonder what. I kind of want to know what whale tastes like too. Is that bad? It kind of looks like it'd be tasty. I know that's rough to say, but I feel like it looks like it'd be tasty to me. Is that bad? Is it bad that I said that? I mean, it looks like the, what do you call the I don't know. I just feel like it'd be tasty. Okay, it just looks like it has like a good consistency for eating. I'm not okay. By the way, don't eat whales. Most of them are endangered and shit. Okay, don't eat whales. But it does look tasty to eat a whale. Anyway, I know they do. Sort of illegally they sue it. They do it right. Okay.
Spread across European powers and into their colonies. Americans hijack whaling. Life in colonial New England is as harsh as its winters and stony soil. But in the Atlantic, enormous shadows glide along the coast as right whales follow their migratory routes. And the settlers know the old world pays handsomely for such treasures. Shore whaling becomes their first get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah.
A single good-sized whale earns each crew member as much as a land-based worker makes in 6 months. But
thank you, Blue Dream. Thank you. As a matter of fact, though admittedly, Blue Dream, are you a native person? Because there are still groups up in, for those who don't know, up in the northwestern United States, there are still groups that are legally allowed to hunt whales because it's part of their cultural heritage. So like there's some northwestern native groups that are still legally allowed to hunt whale, even though like it's illegal for almost everyone else because, you know, it's part of their cultural traditions. And they by themselves aren't going to kill all the whales, but all right. Ooh.
It's unpredictable. Some years, a crew kills 100 whales. Other years drag on for months without a catch. Still, whaling becomes a valuable source of trade. Meanwhile, London is swelling into one of the world's great metropolises. And by the 1740s, 15,000 street lamps burn with colonial whale oil there. It takes half a whale per night to turn London's dark streets into a flickering sea of light.
Honestly, though, okay, this sounds bad. I didn't realize that's a lot of oil for only half a whale. So it would only take half a whale to light all of London. Is that what they're saying? That's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not promoting killing whales for oil, but I didn't know that it only took half a whale to light all of London. That's interesting to me. I thought it would take like a few whales. Okay.
But just like the Basques had learned centuries earlier, the right whales near shore become scarcer with each passing year, just as demand is exploding. Around this time, a whaling boat is swept far offshore outside Nantucket. Hours drag on in uncertainty until finally the crew brings down a new kind of giant, the 18-meter, 45-ton sperm whale. In their heads, these leviathans carry nearly 2,000 liters of spermaceti, the highest quality oil on the planet. milky gold, and so pure it burns without
Oh, that's
smoke.
cool, Blue Dream. That's very cool.
Sperm whales become the ultimate prize monsters. A single large sperm whale can yield oil worth around $200,000 today. That's a fortune in the 1850s and 2 to 3 times more valuable than right whale oil. One barrel can buy you almost 3 acres of farmland. Then again, outfitting a whaling expedition costs $30,000.
I want to go hunt a whale now. I'm just kidding. I don't.
10 times more than an average farm. A third of voyages lose money and some never return. But getting smashed by furious whales is what truly makes sailors' blood run cold.
Ugh.
The hunt. Before we tackle the beast, let's briefly interrupt ourselves and shout out to our great sponsor, $4.90. Absolutely insane. Row close about to begin. The planks groan as your shipmates strain at their oars, rowing straight towards the beast.
Hello, J-Mac.
The plan is simple and absolutely insane.
It reminds me of that game. There's a game out there. What is it called? Crap, where you have a little dredge. That's a fun game. Anyway, just a side note. Everyone should play dredge.
Close enough to touch this monster, hurl a harpoon into its flesh, and hope it doesn't take it personally. You recognize the creature from its scars, and it remembers you. The harpoon bites
This is
deep
kind of
into
sad.
blubber.
I feel bad for the whale, guys.
The whale turns into pure, terrified rage. Your
Aw.
boat lurches forwards like you've been hitched
Am
to
I
a
being lived up by feeling bad for the whale? Quiet, Dolly boy. Quiet. I feel bad for the whale.
steam engine, spray blinding you as you're dragged across the ocean in what whalers call a Nantucket sleigh ride. It goes on for an hour, then 4. Your knuckles are white, gripping the gunnel as waves crash over the bow.
I'm rooting for the whale. Hey, Meowser, quiet. I know I said I'd murk a whale, but then I changed my mind. I'm a very fickle person. I changed my mind, okay? I feel bad. I would never hurt a whale, okay? By the way, I never meant it to begin with. I'm just saying. I do, guys. I care about whales. Whales are the best. I would say I would say, like, if I were around at the time, I might want to hunt a whale because I'd get rich. But like at this point, I don't want to I would never want to hunt a whale. Okay. Clearly my morality is linked to my profit motive. Anyway, okay, because he hurt exactly, Retro Asher, exactly. Okay, moving on. Oh, let's continue this story. I don't
The men
appreciate your
pray and
judgment,
curse.
folks.
8 hours into the
Just
hunt,
because I
your
would kill an endangered species for wealth, I don't appreciate that.
exhausted eyes lose focus. The ropes lash across the deck like they're alive. Someone's leg.
But guys, if you don't want me to kill a whale, you should donate to the channel. Please become a member for as little as $1 a month. Help inspire me to not go hunting whales, to make money hunting whales. You can also become a subscriber over on Twitch for free if you have Amazon Prime. Then that'll help ensure I don't go get a harpoon and go hunting whales. So there you go. Okay, right now I love whales, and as long as you keep sending me money, I will continue loving whales. So there you go. That also means that if you don't send money to me, you're responsible for the death of a whale. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Thank you, Dolly Boy. You saved a whale's life tonight, Dolly Boy. Dolly Boy says, thank you. Gesturing and expecting coin tosses from the royal court as your main income is pathetic. The king is... How dare you, Dolly Boy? I'm not reading that. All right.
Gets caught and they're yanked into the ocean, swallowed by the waves. You hope it's quick. Sailors tell stories of other whales rushing in to defend their kin, dragging men down where lungs are crushed like...
For those who haven't donated, you see that harpoon inside the whale? That is your fault. That is your fault because you didn't send me money.
tin cans. But you're still here.
Let's hope that whale didn't have a calf. Didn't have a baby whale next to it. That'd be kind of depressing, right? Look what you're doing.
And the whale is finally slowing, exhausted from pulling your floating death trap across the ocean.
A little bit, Blue Dream, just a little
Now
bit.
comes the killing. You have to get close to stab this giant with a 3-meter lance, going for the massive lungs or heart.
Oh God, this
Blood
is
starts flowing from the spout like a crimson geyser, but the whale is still fighting.
Jonas, quiet.
15 blows later, you find the mark. The whale starts swimming in tighter and tighter circles, vomiting half-digested squid until it finally rolls over in a...
Oh my God, I'm sorry guys. I know my humor is awful right now because I'm getting tired, but wouldn't that be great? Like you kill a whale and then not the killing part. You open its stomach and you have a bunch of calamari, so you get the whale meat and you get a bunch of calamari. That's like, anyway, okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Spreading pool
Thank
of
you,
gore.
Dolly Boy. I will.
And you're barely
drink
getting
water.
started.
Ew, look at that. That's so depressing. It's all circling and bloody and stuff. That's so sad. That's so sad. I'm sorry, Retro. I know it's disgusting. I'm sorry, Retro. I know I'm gross right now.
The floating factory. You tow the enormous carcass back to the ship where the crew slams down chains to secure their prize. The ship creaks as the dead giant bobs in the swells beside you. Now, the butchery can begin. It takes days to process 45 tons of dead whale into liquid money. You leap across the blood-slick blubber to axe through the thick flesh of the head. Within lies the spermaceti chamber, the vault of the most precious whale oil.
Oh, is that for the... Oh, wait, never mind. Spermaceti, never mind.
Then you help peel away the blubber,
Yeah.
20 centimeters
Guys,
thick.
I'm joking because this is disturbing to me. I feel bad for this goddamn whale. Okay, I need to cope with it somehow.
And tough as leather. You cut 2-meter wide blanket pieces, weighing a ton, and hold them up with pulleys that strain the ship's masts.
Those are intelligent
Your ship
mammals.
lurches as you cut it free to release the weight. Next comes the rendering. You fire up the try-works, brick furnaces built right on the wooden deck. In massive iron pots, the blubber gets boiled down into oil. The smoke is so thick you can barely breathe. They say you can smell a whaling ship from 30 kilometers away. Burning tar, rotting flesh, and the stink of death.
Yeah,
The
Jamie, we
work
watched
continues
that here.
around the clock. Sharks
so-
are drawn by the bloody waste you're dumping
Oh,
overboard.
no,
Men slip on the greasy decks and break bones, get crushed by swinging chunks of blubber, or scalded by boiling oil. It may be one of the most gruesome jobs in existence. The stench, the blood, the endless toil, it wears you down fast. Most who sign on quickly regret it. Nearly a third end up deserting. You are holding on to the dream of coming home rich, but the odds aren't great.
God.
The business of blood.
Oh, God.
When
it
it's
can't-
all
it-
over,
it's
the
gonna
ship
get worse.
returns with dozens of barrels of the finest oil on Earth. By the 1850s, whaling has become the 5th biggest industry in the US, with
Jesus
700
Christ.
whaling
No wonder they went and got endangered so
ships,
quickly.
3/4 of the world's fleet, employing 70,000 people.
Of course, the USA is the #1 slaughtering all these whales. Yay! The United States, always a great purveyor of health and safety for the environment, right?
In 1853 alone, American
That's capitalism, baby!
whalers kill over 8,000 whales,
Oh, wow!
making 360,000 barrels of oil and almost $500 million in today's dollars. Voyages grow longer and months turn into years as ships push into the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Each voyage demands bigger investments, and
We're more
whaling
of a swamp.
turns into a venture capital industry. Crews work for shares instead of wages, while forced to buy overpriced supplies.
That's kind of socialist, right? They were working for shares, not wages. I'm just kidding. That's not. Well, I doubt that these were owned by the employees. These whaling boats. Okay.
On credit. Many come home in debt, and a lucky few rise through the ranks. It's the American dream, they say, but it feels like an illusion. The real money flows upwards to ship owners and merchants. Fishing villages turn into global commercial hubs. In New England, the port of New Bedford rises as one of the richest towns in America. Whaling is unusually diverse for its time, but deeply exploitative. Much of the labor comes from Native Americans and black sailors. Native communities.
Gross. Yeah, I know, Wiz. I know. I'm trying to. I'm trying to cope with this video. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I know. Pirates were very democratic, Meowser. Well, somewhat. Yeah. A lot of those ideas actually spread to the 13 colonies from pirates. You know, the North, some free former slaves would go into whaling because of the difficulty of getting a job. I know, Retro Asher, right? Right.
Become dependent on English goods, while crews of color are pushed into the hardest and lowest paying work. This pattern of inequality still echoes today. The blood of whales helps fuel the rise of American industrial power.
Yay. God bless America.
The machine age of killing.
Oh my God. The titles of these different sections are horrifying.
Until in 1859, a breakthrough changes everything. Steam-powered rigs start commercially pumping petroleum. Suddenly, kerosene, lamp oil refined from crude oil, is cheap and seemingly limitless.
Guys, don't worry.
Over the following decades, the whaling industry...
Don't worry. Don't worry about the whale oil. Don't worry. We have oil now. We moved from one very, ethical way of lighting our homes to another. I mean, of generating energy and shit, to another very ethical way of doing shit. Oil, very ethical product also. There you go, right? Love that. Don't worry, guys. Oil saved us. We were saved by crude oil. Thank you, oil. Thank you, oil, for saving the whales. All right? Isn't that great? Right? Isn't that great?
faces dramatic changes. Nantucket once...
Come on, you know it, Weirdomorphous Blob. Weirdomorphous Blob says very wisely, I think this is a quote from Lenin, actually. Weirdomorphous Blob says, the market pursuing infinite profits will always lead to the best morality. Oh, that's definitely Lenin. I'm pretty sure Weirdomorphous Blob is quoting Lenin here.
The heart of global whaling sees its last ship limp home in 1870. The age of sail is ending. The age of engine has begun.
Sorry. Yes, Retro Asher, don't forget, guys, the great whale Gazoo is our new god. And yeah, we should definitely thank Gazoo for all the whales that were given to us.
It's ushered in by blood. In the 18th and 19th centuries, 300,000 sperm whales alone were slaughtered, and they still can't catch a break. Although kerosene conquered lighting, whale oil is still one of the best lubricants on Earth. Never freezes, spoils, or quits. The machinery powering industrialization needs it, so ironically, petroleum soon increases demand for whale oil. Norwegians seize the opportunity with cheaper labor and new technology. They set up whaling stations on islands at the edge of Antarctica. Hand-thrown spears are gone, and now explosive-tipped harpoons fire from steam-powered catcher boats for instant kills. The fast ships can chase down even blue whales, the largest animals
this is so sad. I don't want to see the blue whales killed.
that ever lived. Normally, most dead whales sink, but now air compressors pump them full of gas, so even the biggest ones float like massive buoys. No whale is safe anymore. In the arms race leading up to World War I, whale oil is also used to produce explosives.
Oh, good!
But the true carnage comes after World War II, when Japan and the Soviet Union also joined the slaughter.
Great!
They called it the Whaling Olympics. The same industrial might that once built tanks and bombers now builds factory ships. The largest one is 210 meters long, capable of processing dozens of whales in a day. In 1964, 82,000 whales are reported killed, the largest animal slaughter by tons in human history.
Oh my God.
The war we almost won. The ocean couldn't sustain this mechanized assault. Sperm whales fall from around 1.5 million
Let's see how many of these creatures we can slaughter at once. Awful.
to 800,000, and the even larger fin whales from almost 800,000 to 100,000. Blue whale populations, which had numbered around 340,000 before industrial whaling, collapsed by 98% to less than 5,000.
Oh, no.
It isn't until 1975 that the reality of industrial whaling hits the global spotlight. In the North Pacific, environmental activists steered tiny inflatable boats straight between Soviet whaling ships and their targets. The images of fragile human bodies standing in the path of steel harpoons spread like wildfire.
Okay, one more person tell me about Mandelson being arrested in the UK. I'm gonna lose my shit. Yes, Mayflower Kid, we know. I swear, 5 people have come in here and told me about Mandelson. We know, okay? We know, all right? Jesus Christ. God, we're watching about, we're trying to watch a video about whale slaughter, and we have to hear about Mandelson all the time, okay? I'm kidding. Thank you for telling me, Mayflower Kid, but we did know, all right? Jesus.
Overnight, the public turns against the commercial slaughter. Across America and Europe, people support a new cause, Save the Whales. Finally, the International Whaling Commission votes for a global...
Louise, don't you dare say that to me. I'm joking, by the way. Retro Asher, I swear to God, I'm not really upset, guys. I hope you know. I was just trying to, okay, Luke, how dare you? Okay, you know what? You're all monsters.
Global moratorium on commercial whaling.
Fetty Spaghetti, you did know Fetty Spaghetti. How dare you?
Only Norway, Iceland and Japan never signed the global ban that takes effect in 1986, basically ending 400 years of industrial whale hunting. It's a different world now, and looking back, the story of whaling seems bloody and barbaric.
You think?
But it also lit homes.
What do you mean it seems bloody? It was literally bloody.
Powered machines and built the scaffolding of modernity.
Okay.
A staggering and also concerning display of what humanity
Yeah, Luke, what else is new? You're always just jumping in right at the end.
is capable of. The power to reshape the world with progress and destruction always side by side.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to put my face up here. So, folks, I feel the time has come for me to leave you. I am tired, and if you didn't notice, my focus and streaming abilities are declining rapidly. I've noticed that. Okay, I know, LaCroix, very depressing way to end the stream. Don't worry. How about this? We're not going to. You're not. How dare you, Jonas? Uh. Yeah. No. You're. Oh yeah. You're right, Jonas. It's very good for you guys. I'm just being an asshole. Okay. Actually, it's important. How dare you, Mayflower Kid? Okay, so guys, this is what we're gonna do. First of all, how's everyone doing out there? Let me hand out some boops. Let's hand out some boops. Mayflower Kid, you don't get a boop. You don't get a boop. Neither do you, J-Mac. Actually, you do. J-Mac gets a boop. Boop. LaQual gets a boop. Boop. Luke gets a boop. Boop. Fetty gets a boop. Boop. Mauser gets a boop. Boop. Bodytop gets a boop. Boop. Luke barely gets a boop. Boop. Okay. Who else gets a boop? Louise gets a boop. Boop. A Bright Love gets a boop. Boop. Anyone else need a boop? Anyone else want a boop? Retro Asher gets a boop. Boop. Anyone else need a boop? Anyone else? Sylvie gets a boop. Boop. Anyone? Did I miss anyone? Did I miss anyone who gets a boop? Anyone else need a boop? Anyone else want a boop? Okay, Weirdmorphous Blob gets a boop. Boop. Anyone else want a boop? Retro Asher says, it's okay. Gazoo forgives us for all that we have done to his sea children. Gazoo also said, free Palestine. It was in the Book of the Tides. I love that. I know. I'm so excited. So, guys, don't forget that tomorrow I will be streaming twice. I'll be doing my regular stream, and then we'll be doing a stream when Trump does the State of the Union, and I will likely be in my full jester outfit. So be ready for that when we do the late nights, when we do the State of the Union stream. If you want to come watch Trump ramble for an hour, for probably longer than an hour, I'm sure you'll. I'm sorry, I'm really selling this, aren't I? Please come watch, and I will be dressed full jester outfit, ready to. Oh yes, Blue Dream, you get a boop. Boop. By the way, Blue Dream, welcome to the community. By the way, Blue Dream, I gotta tell you. Oh, by the way, Wiz gets a boop. Boop. I gotta tell you. Blue Dream, you came in at a bad stream. Normally, I'm better at streaming, but you have to understand, Blue Dream, I've been sick the last 2 days, and I'm tired as hell. So please forgive me. I am normally better at streaming. Please come back. I love you, Blue Stream. I'm in love with you, Blue Stream. Okay, and who else? Who else? Is anyone else? Anyone else I need to convince to come back after that embarrassing? Okay. Anyway, so all right, guys. Let's see here. Oh, my eye hurts. Oh gosh. Yeah, it'll be like a 3-hour rant. Anyway, okay, you guys. So I'm gonna go. I think it would take labor leaving for. I agree. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna say goodbye now. Thank you all for watching, etc., etc. Shut up, Mayflower Kid. All right, I love you all very much. Please join our Discord if you haven't already. It is linked at the top of the chat in both YouTube and our Signal. You get a boop boop. And Twitch. Okay. All right. Oh God, my eye. And then tell me if it's not working, and I can send you a different link. All right. All right, guys. You all know what I'm about to say. First of all, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Second of all, YouTube, Blue Dream. Second of all, never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves and to question authority figures. That includes when you watch me. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. See what other people are saying. Don't get caught in an information silo, because the easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. We're also living in a fascist moment in this country. Fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions. We need major reforms in this country. You cannot stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you. Don't do it. Don't stand in the center. Fight back. Don't be a slug. Don't let the fascists walk all over you. I agree, Wiz. Blue Dream is also one of my fave cannabis strains ever. All right. On the wall behind me is a sword. The name The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. Chainbreaker is thought to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners. It's been passed down in my family for many years. Why do I have it back there? I have it back there to remind everyone that our ancestors made some major sacrifices for some of the things we have today. We cannot let their sacrifice go to waste, folks. Please, please, please do not let their sacrifice go to waste. And always, 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 always fight for a better future. And on that note, folks, you all have a good rest of your day. I will be back on tomorrow. Love you all very much. Get some rest. I know I will. I'm going to go take a nap. Bye-bye, folks. Bye-bye.